All right. Hello, everybody. We are live, and today we have for our guest. Wait, Tomb Liquor.
Death and doom to you.
No. This is the wrong video. This is we didn't invite Tomb Liquor. We were trying to invite Brian of
Death and doom to you.
Is Brian in there somewhere? Can we get Brian?
Brian, okay, yeah.
Oh, there.
My bad.
Brian from Bad Books.
I couldn't recognize you with that robe.
That's my bad. That's the other me.
That's the other. We have a lot of these. Yeah, you can change your name. Let's see if that's possible. Do you remember how?
Yep. There we go.
Oh, that was fast.
Wow, that was really good.
It's getting hot.
Oh, all right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of Literally Liminal. And yes, today we do have Brian of Bad Taste Books.
Brian, what's up?
That's exciting, which means we're going to be probably talking a little bit more horror than science fiction this time, but I'm sure science fiction will creep in as well.
It sure will.
Whatever you want to talk about.
What's up, Jake?
What's up?
What's up?
And then here is
Hello.
Sephiros. What's up, Sephiros? Yeah, Sephiros makes really awesome music. If you ever want to hear it, it's usually the stuff that they play the outro of when you go to News from the Geldings radio shows, which are fantastic.
Nice.
Hey, Virgil.
What's up?
I'm not familiar with Eastland Burkholder. Hello, Eastland Burkholder. Hi, Pulp. Hello, Chris. Well, you're saying hello to everybody. Hello, Brian. Brian's name is spelled with a Y, of course.
It is, and I made that mistake so many times.
Yeah,
it's all good. Whatever you can spell it with a Q, it's fine.
That will be interesting. I will try.
Sephiros, I've puzzled over this comment. We all did for a while, and we don't get it.
I think Wizard is Chris.
Yeah, Wand, of course.
Is News from the Geldings.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Lovecraft, I hope you're already in here. Lovecraft asked, "What is going on in the thumbnail? This is wild." This thumbnail has really caused a lot of conversation on the Discord, but also when we first posted it, of course, Vintage SF, Richard Rempel.
Yes.
Maybe asleep
elsewhere. So I locked the door.
He gets up and moves around when you're not looking.
Right.
But when I posted this, Richard like right away was like, "Is that the cover from Heinlein's? What is it?"
I do not remember the title.
Richard does. Richard,
yeah,
what's the title?
And I was like, oh, and then so I just saw it and thought, oh, this is a goofy cover. We'll use this for our thumbnail. And then I'm like, it does kind of look like the Triffids. And then I looked up a little bit about it, and yeah, there was
Tribbles.
Yeah, the Tribbles. I'm sorry, the Triffids is something else. It does kind of look like that, and there was some discussion about it. The Tribbles sort of being slightly ripped off from that Heinlein story, but I don't know the full. It was just comments and Reddit, so I don't know how accurate that is. But I didn't dig much deeper. But
yeah, so the thumbnail,
the Rolling Stones. Yep, that's right.
It's called it's from Robert Heinlein's juvenile science fiction stories. Juvenile, I don't know. The Rolling Stones, and it was produced before the band. I didn't know that.
Mm.
Yeah, I think the Star Trek guy, or in the Reddit comments, the Star Trek guy was saying he didn't actually read, he wasn't aware of that book. But then after he read it, he was like, this is really similar. And then he hit up Heinlein and he was like, can I do this? And they were like, I can't remember what Heinlein said, something quippy and sarcastic.
Yeah. Like he can't, was it something like he couldn't copyright Little Fuzzy Creatures or something like that?
That's it. Yep.
Something like that.
What's up, Goblin?
What's up?
Love the Rolling Stones books. I've never read them.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. But lots of classic tropes. Oops.
Oh, okay.
Hey, guys, I'm on my way to work. Just wanted to pop in and say what's up. Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
What's going on?
So, man, I'm always on the way to work.
Right?
That's how it is.
Well, I guess it must be early morning in Japan. So he's off to teach young minds.
Oh, that's right.
Molding young minds.
Yeah, we do not know if the fluffy things are edible or not. They could be. They look good.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know how Virgil found that. I don't know if you just typed in sci-fi art or what.
You know what? I looked up Daryl K. Sweet art because I had an image of a Daryl K. Sweet book cover, and I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, I wonder if there's some picture from a book that he's done that would be a good choice. And I saw that. I'm like, well, this is pretty goofy. I like this one.
It is goofy.
Yeah, it is totally goofy. It was really good. Exactly. Spaceship captains and furry creatures in early sci-fi, not lifted from Heinlein. Okay.
I think there was some talk about maybe Heinlein wasn't the first person who had done it either.
Yeah.
So I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, it's really strange, and as sci-fi readers, it is funny that we try to chase down tropes. Like when I read a really old book, and like the example I can give is, got to get up, say something interesting, Virgil.
Something interesting, Virgil.
The first 6 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, really. What was but yeah, going back to the actual Star Trek episode though, that actually is a great goofy episode. It's kind of famous for a reason. I watched it and was like, this is so silly.
You're gonna bring it up again. All right. I guess I'll have to admit now that I haven't seen it to everybody.
It's worth a watch.
Yeah, you don't even really need a lot of the backstory. It's just like its own thing. You can just go and just be like, this was so goofy. And it's fun. It really is fun. So
I've read this one and talked about it on my channel. Lawrence Manning, The Man Who Awoke, a Canadian science fiction writer that really only wrote this kind of one story. And it was written in the 30s, I believe. And 33. And it talks about humans strapped up to machines where the machines pump their heads full of a fake dream life. And I was like, is this like the first virtual reality? Is this it? And then people were like, no, you've got to read. There's one I'm reading pretty soon. The Machine Stops by E.M. Forrester. Is it like 1908 and apparently deals with that. But it's really wild how when you're a science fiction writer, you like spot a trope and then try to like trace it back. Like who was first? Like I think it was Murray Leinster that termed the term first contact. And the Wikipedia pages are like, this was the first time they ever did this.
Because sci-fi fans are nerds.
Yeah, that's it exactly. And in fact, Tim just called us out here. What's up, nerds? Are we talking Trek? Yeah, we were talking
a little bit.
Daryl K. Sweet, only a few thousand covers to choose from.
Right. Yeah, right.
Ghost Readers in the Sky is here. Thanks for joining us, Ghost Readers in the Sky. I saw you live yesterday with who did the live yesterday? I love him. I'm gonna think of his name in a minute.
I was busy, so
thank you for joining us, Ghost Readers in the Sky. Another Bibliophile Reads is where I saw Ghost Readers in the Sky yesterday. So thank you for joining us here. Yeah, Another Bibliophile Reads is a fantastic channel. I really enjoy it. Captain Flinty, Time Police. I feel like
is this Timey-Wimey Limey?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Is this Timey-Wimey Limey?
I think it is.
A different name. All right, Captain Flinty, you're gonna have to tell us who you are.
You're just assuming he's coming in.
Right. You're like, I'm not that person.
Runs away, joins not a circus, but a real family. Must go back to 1890 or something. Yeah, I think you're right. A lot of these tropes go way back.
Yeah.
I think Hieronymus Bosch inspired a lot of horror authors over the years. I wonder what inspired his artwork. That's a great question. And I do think you're right. I think that his, was it the Gates of Hell that he did? That's like all these panels of people suffering. I think that's Bosch.
Mental illness, probably.
Right.
So Bosch is the one that has that weird looking circular body thing, and there's all the like ladders and thing. Okay, I don't know. I can't describe it.
No, I think I know what you're talking about. Rye mold. I don't know, man. Damn, Goblin. Turns out the term worm in a computer virus was invented by John Brunner. See, that's the kind of stuff that
that's interesting.
I think that is so unique to sci-fi that we just throw these like people are like, that's the first possessed baby. Like I don't hear horror people talking about that a lot. You know what I mean?
We need to track down the first baby possession.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Who was the first possessed baby?
Hell, mostly.
I'm certainly not Flinty. He could be Flinty. I don't know. I need to step out. And come in with many cool. Oh yeah. Apparently, changing names is fun. Oscar's inspired by bad food.
Oh, nice.
I kept getting accused of being a Doctor Who fan, so I ditched the timey-wimey-limey. Respect my authority. All right. Absolutely. Yeah, that's I will admit, Captain Flinty, that's what I assumed you were going for with the timey-wimey. So
I've not watched Doctor Who. It just seems like such a commitment. There's so many seasons.
I haven't either. I think I saw the angel episode where whenever the people turn, the angel statues will move towards them, but if they look at them at all, they won't move. Because I have a buddy that really loves Doctor Who, but that's really as far as I've gotten.
Yeah, the Weeping Angels. I like some of the new stuff. I like that stuff. I've watched a decent amount of the old stuff too, and I remember really enjoying that stuff, although I don't really have much connection because it was whatever was on PBS at the time. So it's Sunday nights on PBS.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a lot of memories of Doctor Who. I would say it was one of my first sci-fi TV shows, probably.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to do something a little weird tonight. I'm randomly going to ask trivia questions just for fun surrounding the horror genre. And I'm trying to mix movies and literature. So go ahead and answer if you know the answer in the comments. Can you guys see the comments, Brian and Virgil?
I can, yes.
But if you put your screen bigger, no.
All right, keep your screen bigger.
Don't?
Yeah, we'll see if we know this. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho was inspired by a short story by Robert Bloch. Good. Bloch's story, in turn, was inspired by real-life events, which later resurfaced in what classic cult film? Don't say anything if you know, but this is some timey-wimey.
Wouldn't it be Texas Chainsaw?
Oh, no, I told you not to say it. You got to give the people a chance to say, damn, Brian, you're good. This is why I'm doing it. Because Brian's good.
All right, so I have to be quiet. Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the right answer. Brian and Cole Sloth knew that one. That's crazy. I never knew that. So the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is about real stuff, is about a real thing that occurred. It inspired Robert Bloch to write the short story Psycho, which made Hitchcock make the movie Psycho, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre was made later. That was crazy. Okay. Let's see. There's a lot of people. Call me Flinty again. I dare you, Chris. Is that not what we should call you?
Oh, Flinty. There's no L.
Flinty. Oh, it's Finty. Uh-oh. Does Flinty mean something bad?
Don't Flinty, doesn't it mean you're kind of like stoic or very, yeah. Someone is Flinty.
I've never heard that.
Well, you just did.
I just learned it.
I'm back.
What's up, Rose? Oh, look. Will genre. Is it Zach or is it Bob? Algorithm really wants me to watch Doctor Who, but I've been resisting.
I like the older stuff. The new stuff can be good. It's kind of a commitment. It is kind of like almost like it's like a lot of those WB shows like Buffy or something like that. Like you just like watch the whole thing. You don't like drop in randomly.
Yeah.
I don't think. But then again, my wife is a huge Doctor Who fan, so that's how that goes.
See, those Wheel of Genre guys, they're so smart. I watched that episode you guys were on with them, and I was like, God, I'm going to seem so dumb. Getting on
you
here.
You just answered the Texas Chainsaw Massacre question, but I don't feel like anybody else.
You didn't even hesitate. You're like this?
Except for coleslaw. Oh, no. Finty got it as well. I don't dare to call him the other thing again. He scares me. Ed Gein, yeah.
Ed Gein, yeah.
Is that who the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is based on?
Maybe. I think so. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. There were a lot of movies actually based on Ed Gein, yeah.
Porky's. What's his name? And it was novel, not a short. Yeah, that's true. I don't think I have that. I can't get up and grab that. Anybody else?
No.
I don't
have it. I don't think. I don't think so. Block? I don't think that.
I think these guys are just talking to each other. The Ed
Gein, the answer to that.
The old story is wild. Yeah, I'll ask some more as we go on. I'll sue you. It's my book title. Yeah, they're talking to each other. I don't know what they're talking about. It's Zach. What's up, Zach?
Hey, Zach. What's up?
Thank you for joining us. It must be super early in the morning for you. Flinty is a great pirate name. Okay, I got
be a good pirate name.
I got to catch up here. You three are acting flinty today.
Oh, that's right. Wheel of Genre was going to read some pirate fiction. They were talking about it when they were on. They were asking about it. We'll put it like that.
For not paying attention properly, Chris's punishment is a cameo in my book. It's not Finty either, for fuck's sake. What is it? How am I reading this wrong? Oh, Finity.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Your screen is really small. I keep thinking this like a reading.
Yeah, my screen is super small. So but
I'm like, Chris doesn't need me to read to him. He literally has a book channel.
Yeah. Dang it. All right. Well, I better do something stupid and cool in the book. I want to do two things: a stupid thing and a cool thing.
Stupid and cool at the same time.
Finity is a good name. All right, Jeff. Good to see you. We're gonna have Jeff on eventually.
Yes.
There is a rumor that Werner Herzog and Errol Morris dug up Ed Gein's mother's grave at one point.
I can see both of them doing that. I've never heard that, but I would not be surprised.
So I know the name Werner Herzog. That's a filmmaker, right?
Yeah. And Errol Morris is also a documentarian. He did a bunch of acclaimed documentaries as well.
Interesting.
And the kid is Hamilton Morris, who did the Vice. He would go to the jungle and take a bunch of drugs. The Vice documentary about drugs.
All right.
Oh, all right.
A whole family of documentarians.
Very good.
All right.
If you can edit and watch them at the same time, I'm impressed.
Okay, good.
Because I cannot.
It's because multiple universes are looking increasingly likely, but the assumption there's an infinite amount is incorrect. Hence my name. Oh, okay.
Dang.
All right. You want another question?
Huh? Okay. Yeah. Right. I'm not allowed to answer them. So
yeah, you just get the question. I think you know.
All right. Here's the question. You guys ready?
Just write down your answer and mail it in.
British horror fiction wizard. I don't know why they said that. British horror fiction wizard Clive Barker titled his 4 volumes of short stories "The Books of Blood." What is the slogan that appears on the cover of the books?
I might know this.
Okay, Brian might know, but we're going to give the comments a minute. We're going to give the comments a minute to see who gets it in the. So don't read the comments, Brian.
I'm not. I feel like I've got the general. I can't remember the exact wording, but I think it's.
I've got one right behind me, right here, volume 1, but I'm not going to pull it out and cheat.
Yeah.
I will say I've read the Books of Blood, and it's probably the best horror literature.
It's really good.
Yeah, I really need. It's unfortunately a glaring hole in my readership.
I haven't read it for years, but
yeah, at the very least, read "In the Hills of the Cities." It's maybe my all-time favorite short story.
Was that in the first one?
I want to say yes, but I can't remember.
I already know the answer to this, so I'm going to pull it down. If I can. I don't know if I can. It's hard. All right, nobody look.
Yeah. Because then they're just Googling it if they haven't answered by now.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's too hard of a question. And I don't know if this question is correct now that I look at this, but I don't know if this is a first edition. No, I have The Book of Blood, The Midnight Meat Train, The Yattering and Jack, and Pig Blood Blues.
Maybe it's in another volume. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So, what is the answer you're going to say, Brian?
It's something like we're all we're like books, and when we're opened, we're read, or something.
That's a good one. Wow.
Dude, you are good at this.
Something like that. I can't.
Damn.
That wasn't exactly right, I'm sure, but
everybody is a book of blood. Whenever we're open, we're read.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
That's a good like tagline too, actually.
It's a fun one,
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh my God, there's so many comments. I always think to myself, this time I'm going to keep up with every comment, but the minute I talk about something else, it goes crazy. They're talking about Flint still.
Flint.
Hey, Tim, we should go have another live stream right now while this is on. Let's see where everybody's loyalty lies.
Can we go on each other's live streams live?
Just have like multiple like
I'm on 3 streams right now.
It's 12 a.m. here. Ooh, I'm slowly putting keycaps onto a mechanical keyboard here. Interesting.
Right.
That sounds oddly relaxing.
Yeah. I'm going to let them keep talking about the multiverse. Multiverse, love Clive Barker. Tim says, I'm watching my favorite booktubers, Jake.
Oh. He's
Uh,
talking about what's on his other screen, though.
Right. He's like, I'm not really watching this. It's just on.
Midnight Meat Train was my nickname in college.
Jake, kick him out.
I didn't know he wrote Midnight Meat Train. It was a fun movie.
It was.
All right. Like a horror version of a dad joke.
Yeah.
I heard an interview with Clive Barker, and he said when he was a child, he saw a man fall from an airplane at a stunt airplane show. He incorporated a lot of birds in his book and art because of that.
Interesting.
What's up, Jack? Yo.
Jack?
No, Jake, stick around. Okay, good. Okay, they're going crazy about time travel. Yeah. Oh, I should. Oh no, I've got 2 of them.
We got to.
Yeah, I've got volume 5.
Ooh.
And doesn't he do all his own art?
Yeah,
I know he's an artist.
Yeah, he does all of his own art. I don't think he did this one though, did he? That might be a later
style. I'm not sure.
Believe it or not, Stephen King has a quote on that one.
I thought you were about to just tell me Stephen King did that art.
No.
I was gonna come in here, and the first thing
we don't want to grow. We want you to draw something, Stephen.
I was gonna come in here, and the first thing I was gonna do, you guys were gonna be like, "Welcome, Brian." I was gonna be like, "Stephen King." I decided against it. And now here it is anyway. So.
Which is funny because if you watch our episode 0 of Secret Society of Red, you will see that, of course, Brian, like all of us horror lovers, started with Stephen King. Yeah.
Who hasn't read him?
Tim. No, this time we're gonna
move on.
No. You can definitely talk science fiction in the.
I love science fiction.
Yeah, you can definitely talk science fiction. I just am trying to keep up with the chat, and
I did when I started my channel. I was debating doing a horror channel, and then I was like, I like too many different things. I don't want to limit myself. So
I'm gonna pull up your channel here because
I would probably have more subs if I narrowed my focus. But I just like to read all kinds of things.
See, I stuck strongly to science fiction, and now I've like gone on a bit of a horror binge. So I'm glad that Virgil put together the cult so that I have a place to talk about horror because okay, I'm going to try to figure out what my first video I ever saw by Brian was.
Wasn't it Franken-Turkey or no?
No. I already loved Brian when I saw Franken-Turkey.
And there was also the one.
Go ahead. I feel like the first one you commented on was like my top 10 80s horror book list.
gotta be it. That makes perfect sense.
So that one did well for me.
Yep. My top 10 80s horror novels is the first one. And you had a skeleton back there behind you.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. And
I remember you commented on it. I was like, who's this guy? And I clicked on his, and I was like, 18,000 followers. Like, what's he watching my channel?
I'm always scouring BookTube looking for fun stuff, man.
I think the first video I saw of you, Brian, was like, I don't know if it was that same video, but like your first book, you're like, oh, it's my top 10 books, and like this book is terrible. It was like the first thing you said. I was like,
well, this is not a good book, but it is
a great way to lead.
Isn't Bad Taste a Goosebumps exclusive channel from Levi?
Yeah, that's all I talk about, just Goosebumps.
Back to the Future has 3 timelines and no canonical sequels. You're welcome.
No canonical sequels. Goosebumps and Animorphs. Yeah, get it right.
Yeah, it's funny because I saw all those.
Geese all around.
I don't know. Dr. Goose, maybe? I don't know. I'm just saying words.
Oh, Bad Taste books. I thought you were going to discuss Bad Taste books.
That's actually.
I feel like it's more I have bad taste in books.
Yeah.
Or so I thought when I made my channel name, and then I get onto BookTube and I find all kinds of people who are into the same dumb stuff I'm into. So maybe it's,
I think Goosebumps is having a revival. Like
oh, for sure. I know Goosebumps is. Yeah.
I'll pick them up at. I used to leave them at yard sales and estate sales, and now I'll pick them up because
there's a couple. There's like so the special editions, the Give Yourself Goosebumps, like the Choose Your Own Adventure ones.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the latter half of that series are Goosebumps special edition, whatever. And there's one that's kind of like a game book in that it has more confusing rules. And that book in particular sells for like $300 by itself on eBay, like regularly. Wow. So like some Goosebumps books are really sought after.
Yeah, I just missed it because I'm just a tiny bit older, but yeah, for me it was Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and you guys remember the one? Was it Nick that was recently talking about the green ribbon? No, I don't think it was. It was somebody. I just cruise around BookTube and randomly like watch people's channels. Okay, wait. I want to do something. The comments are going fast again, but Deep Ashtray makes a good point. Brian, do you want to really quickly tell us kind of what the idea of your channel was and why you started a BookTube channel?
Yeah, that would be probably the thing we should say.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't see the comment. Do I need to go back to the comments to address this?
No. I'm.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't ask that directly. He said, I thought you were going to talk about Bad Taste books. And that inspired me to say, yeah, we are talking about Bad Taste books, and that's you.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's like everybody or most people in that I really like books. I really like reading weird old vintage books that nobody reads. And I didn't have anyone in my personal life to chat about books with. And the more into reading I got and the more into buying these obscure books I got, the more I really wanted to talk about it. And so I was watching BookTube with some regularity. Like I think I mentioned before, I watched Ira's channel, SF Words of Wonder. I watched Library Macabre, Cameron Chaney's channel, and a few others, like the Bookubus channel and some other channels. And
I just discovered the Bookubus yesterday. She's awesome.
Yeah. She's very nice too. Yeah, Alex is cool. But yeah, I just was like, I feel like I could do this. Like, why not? And so I just used my phone and had none of the, like, some people are like, oh, you got to get like a mic and you got to get all this. And I just turned the camera on, started filming some nonsense, and then uploaded it. I really didn't think anyone would like interact with me at all. And I mean, to this day, like, I'm a little shocked that so many people are friends with me on BookTube, because I'm just chatting. I don't know. But yeah, I like to talk about sci-fi and fantasy and horror and men's adventure and crime and pulp and whatever I feel like reading.
It's weird because what drew me to you when I first saw, you're right, it was that 80s horror. But then watching your stuff is, I think that of course the wackiness is fun. And you kind of similar to News of the Gelding. I think you have you're very open with the camera. Like I constantly am like trying to think about the fact that I'm on camera, and I feel like you don't do that. Either you're a great actor and you can hide that, or you just don't give a shit that the camera's there. But also, I think you really know your shit, and those two things balance out to make for some really incredible fun. Like truly, like I mean, just these questions. You're 2 for 2 on these questions, and I'm picking the hardest questions I can find. And
I appreciate that. You're overselling me a little bit, but
no, you know your stuff. You know your stuff.
Yeah.
I got to say hi to Joe really quick. Hi, Joe. I don't know how late we'll go tonight, but I hate that we always do this during your work.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
No, I don't know. But yeah, no, I mean, I appreciate everybody that watches and subscribes and doesn't think it's, but I mean, I guess it's to agree. Like, I'm not doing this to be YouTube famous or make money. It's just, I enjoy doing it. I enjoy hanging out with people in the community and reading the comments, and it's just fun for me. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm not trying super hard to like be something. And I guess some people like that and some people don't. And
right. Yeah.
I don't care. Good. Yeah. I'm glad for the people that do.
Yeah, no, there's an honesty to it that I think is awesome.
Yeah.
Hi, Constance. Sure. Uh-oh. The thumbnail was disturbing, Virgil.
Sorry. I literally made that. I came home from work. I'm like, oh, I got to send Chris a thumbnail. I'm so tired. I'm like, all right, 10 minutes is what we get.
You get a 10-minute thumbnail. Musaphonic recordings. That sounds really interesting. I haven't heard of Musaphonic recordings. Yeah. Speaking of weird, bad taste, have any of you encountered anything from the 1950s by Lionel Fanthrope? Or his?
I haven't read any, but I know Jake's reviewed some. He's probably already responding in the comments down there.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Let me
think so.
No? Okay, well, Jake knows about the Fanthorpes. He did some videos on some Fanthorpe books. The dude, I mean, he could tell you better than me. I don't remember. I haven't read any of them, but they just like, it was a husband and wife team that like churned them out. Yeah, that did happen. Yeah, they would like churn them out. And I think he would like recite them to his wife. He would like pace around the room and just say the book to his wife, and she would type it out or something.
Is this the guy that like he was riddled with? Like there was a guy that Jake talked about that would like hide under a blanket and like
that
like
sounds right.
Write out like 7 novels in 4 days. And
yeah, I think that's right. And there were like a million pen names, and
yeah.
Again, Jake would know better than me, but I think
we should start a fund for Brian to start his own channel. That way he'll be able to make his own vids instead of having to be on other people's channels.
I try to make 1 video a week. Is that not good enough for you? Sometimes I don't. Okay.
I can understand that. Work schedules can be really get in the way.
Check out Rodent Mutation by Braun Fain. Ooh. Also a book about him called Down the Badger Hole. Yes. Really I have seen this. He hid under a rug. Yes. Great video by Jake. Yeah, this guy seems wild, truly wild.
I will look into those books. That sounds weird. I like it.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And Musaphonic recordings. If you haven't seen Pulp Mortem talking about whoever we're talking about, who I've already forgotten, go check it out. It's fantastic. Oh, Cody. Who are y'all and what did you do with Creepy Baby?
Creepy Baby is loose in the house. I don't know. The door is closed. So I think I'm safe.
Well, you do know where it is, right?
Well, no, not really. I just know. All I can say is if you don't know where Creepy Baby is, look behind yourself.
Yeah.
Levi says the only thing scarier than seeing Creepy Baby is not seeing Creepy Baby.
Exactly right.
It's true. I think the kids
you need to do
what's that? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say you need to do something with that, like just start one of these lives, and we're at 34 minutes now. You should just have the kind of dedication where your daughter like hides behind the chair for like 34 minutes and then starts lifting Creepy Baby over
We've totally talked about weird stuff like that before. Believe me, these conversations have kind of already happened. When we were going to do the first live show, I was telling him, like, okay, it's trying not to be real loud or whatever. And my son's like, yeah, can I just come in and ask you, like, after 10 minutes, like, hey, Dad, could you go and stop the toilet for me? I was like, I'm a little tempted.
Okay, I want to show off. Oh, hold on.
I was gonna say
she's loose. Oh no,
that sounds crazy.
Make lots of YouTube shorts to help your channels grow faster. Use a wild title, voiceovers, and crazy graphics like this live thumbnail, and you will make people click for sure. So that's an interesting thing, Lovecraft, because I started making shorts at one point, and what I was doing was showing, like, I had one of the analog magazines that had the first part of Dune in it, and I had the magazine that had the first publication of Ray Bradbury's The Veldt in it, and I was making these shorts that were showing these off, and I'm making more. I'm going to do it for my whole library, just a little short for each book, but everything I've looked at, and this makes sense to me, says that if you're a long form channel, you should never do shorts. Because if you start to build a following that loves your long form content, and you start to build a following that loves your shorts, you'll split your audience, is what they call it. So apparently, and it's weird because YouTube was not pushing shorts and long form content, but now with this new algorithm change, apparently they are pushing doing shorts. So I don't know. I know, Virgil, you've messed around with shorts too. Brian, I don't think you've ever done a short, have you?
I'm an old man, and I'm just like I'm just opposed.
This is the youngest person in the room.
I'm just opposed to short form content. I think it's brain rot, and it's ruining the collective consciousness of our society, or the collective attention span of our society.
I tried. I tried it, and I just didn't like it. I hated it. It was always like I felt like I had 60 seconds, and I was like, it wasn't enough time.
Yeah. I talk too damn long. Brian doesn't want the fame that shorts bring.
So we were discussing this with some other people, and I'll get to that in a second. But I was telling you guys that I have a friend in real life who makes video, like he films stuff, works on movies for his job. He's even filmed for Mr. Beast, and he was like, Brian, I could edit your videos. I could do the thumbnail. I could do the title. He's like, I could make your channel. Like, he's like, I understand the algorithm. Like, I'll do it for you for free because you're my friend. And I was like, I don't know. I said no. I said no, thank you. Because for me, this is like, I really enjoy this hobby. And if someone came in and changed it and made it, I don't know, more of a job, I was hesitant because I think this is a really fun thing that I do, and I don't want someone to come in and make it more of an obligation to me.
Yeah, it's strange.
I don't know.
It feels like if you start chasing the algorithm, like if I watch like how to be successful on YouTube videos, which I do from time to time, a lot of them I have to just click through because they're like, what you need to do is you need to go and figure out what people are liking to watch, and then figure out the most popular video of all time. And there's a ton of them that are just straight up like, and then do that same video, but change everything just enough so you don't get, accused of plagiarism. I'm like, I don't want to make the videos that people want to see. I want to make the videos that I want to make and hope that people will enjoy them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of it too is people come to your channel, yes, for the content. Obviously, they're not going to watch videos that they don't like the content of, but they want to like you. They want to like your personality. And I feel like some of the bigger production videos, they just cut out so much that it's like, I don't know. I like these not the, I mean, you guys are way bigger than me, but I like a lot of smaller channels that it feels more like you're hanging out with your friend, just chatting about books.
I always think of
someone like try to teach you about books or I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah, no, I was thinking of Reese's Writing. I like that channel a lot too, because it's just wacky and just a guy with like 80 something subscribers, loving what he's doing and just having a good time doing it. It's wild. Were you going to respond?
Sorry. What do you try to avoid when doing YouTube stuff? Yes, I don't know, sounding like an idiot too much. I don't do that successfully, but I don't know. I don't really cut anything. I just sit there and talk. I don't have a script, and I think there might be a few cuts sometimes, but that's like I said something really dumb, or like something that I was like I can't. But for the most part, I don't know if I try to avoid. I don't know. He doesn't want to be rich. YouTube. I would love to monetize my channel. Sure,
we're gonna get you there, man.
I don't care. It's not like, I have a job.
We're almost there with Virgil. Virgil, you're getting close to monetizing, aren't you?
I'm pretty close, yeah. And I can totally understand what you mean, because I don't want to chase it either. And I think that if you start to chase it, then you have to keep chasing it. It's like you can't, like, once you start down that path, it's like that's the path you go down. And it does feel like the audience is a little different. And there's something fun about just doing this. I don't know. Not that has to go away. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I would love to have more followers, and sure, if YouTube wants to monetize me, I'll take the money. But it's like I don't want to turn it into
an obligation.
I don't know. Like I'm one more mental like thing on my plate I have to worry about, because right now it's fun. It's my thing I go to decompress rather than to stress.
Right. Yeah, I think that's it's good, because that's ultimately kind of like why a lot of us did this, was because we had these books that we read and we wanted to talk about them, and it was like, I don't really know anybody that I can talk about this book with. Maybe a few other people to read, but for me at least, it was like, yeah, I do, but they don't really read what I read, and they're kind of like, I can only talk about it so much before they're like, okay.
I can only talk about it so much before my wife is like, all right, that's enough.
Yeah.
And it's weird to be the guy that's like, please read this book. I'm lending you this book. I bought you this book. Please read this book so that we can talk about this damn book.
I've given so many books to people over the years being like, oh, you like it? Here, read this.
Yeah, seriously. Cody's decided he wants to know how old we are. That doesn't bother me at all. That makes sense. No, it does, because I always wonder, like, I had somebody on my comments accuse me of being a boomer.
You're beyond that. You're like 378 wizard years.
Exactly. No, I'm 47. Virgil, if you don't mind saying.
Hey, I'm the same age.
Yeah.
47. I'm 33.
Yeah. So there you go, Cody. Not rude at all.
No.
Brian, if Brian is right, if you try to chase numbers, you become not who you are. I agree.
Yeah.
Not to say I don't like any big channels, because I do, but it's just not for me. Or I mean, if I get big, cool, but I'm not changing anything to do it, is what I'm saying.
It's fun to make the more produced videos sometimes, but to do that a lot is no. I don't think there's a different energy between doing something super produced and then doing something very casual, and there's those different levels, and I like all those things. I wouldn't want to just make highly produced videos. They feel very sanitized. They feel, you know what I mean? There's not a lot of connection between anybody who watches it and you.
I do want to iterate too, though, that like I don't dislike anything in terms of YouTube content. Like if you're doing something that I'm not, like, don't think I'm annoyed by anything you're doing. It's just I'm doing what I'm doing because it works for me. So
I'm guessing you pronounced this name Caleb Dantas. If I mispronounced your name, I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with you. Thank you for jumping in. He says, I agree with Brian. We should reject the profit maximizing mentality for everything we do in life. Can't we just do things we like for once? I think that sums it up beautifully, because he's not saying reject profit completely.
Yeah, just YouTube gave me cool, but I'm not gonna
which is kind of how I came at it as well. Like right when I could monetize, of course I monetized. I absolutely did, because this is like a small part-time job. But on the same note, I remember talking with Jason at one point about should we like start working towards these kind of books or whatever? And I was like, I don't want to read those. I want to read what I want to read. I want to make the videos that I want to make. And if it just happens that other people like it, then that's great. I think Matthew G has said it really true. You guys want more subs? Maybe show some skin.
We need to start an only book too.
Imitation is the sincerest form of plagiarism. What Chris said. I only make the videos that I like to see, hence my lame, rambly Redwall reviews. Good for you, man.
I think those Redwall reviews are cool. I mean,
I haven't watched them all, but I've watched a chunk.
Yeah.
I watched your last one. I watched them all. I might not comment because I don't have much Redwall insight, but I watch them all. I like them. Well, and I'm curious once he gets to the next ones like that he hasn't read.
Yeah. Well, I kind of have this love of anthropomorphic animal ever since The Secret of Nim, and all of those. So, like, I will admit the Redwall novels have passed through my hands, and I've been curious kind of every time. So I like watching Tim's videos on those.
I never read them, but I grew up around them and was always curious. So I'm thrilled to finally get to experience them.
Right.
Without committing myself to
the
whole series.
Actually, I still have that right here. Yeah, that's I haven't got a chance to read it yet, but this does sound like it's good. That's cool that somebody picked it up. It's awesome that it's good.
Are you responding to Mr. Bandana Head?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So I held this up the other day, I guess the live show, and it looked really neat. I just haven't had a chance to get to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hang out. Great explanation. Great description. Reese is great. So funny. We're behind on the comments so bad. How close are you to monetizing, Virgil? How can we help?
I'm about 100 hours away. So it's just time, because you have to have a sub rate and then hours per year. And it's a rolling year. So it's the past 365, which is fine. It's gonna happen. I feel like it'll probably be around July, somewhere in that, between now and August, it should happen. Right. Just unless I were to do something ridiculous. Which I don't plan on doing. I mean, I do plan to do things ridiculous, but not the bad kind of ridiculous.
He's being humble, but one thing people can do is go back and watch the old ones.
You could, if you really,
hours viewed that he needs.
Don't go too far back because it gets a little strange.
It gets very strange the further back you go.
I've definitely nixed a couple weird ideas I had. I'm like, I think that idea isn't good. I'm glad I didn't do it.
Brian, do you think the spelling of your name is a help or a hindrance? I have the same name, and everyone is always like, wait, your first name is Brian too with a Y?
I don't feel like it's that uncommon, but it is the better spelling of the name.
There you go. Good answer.
I think if people are confused, it's just because there's too many people who spell it wrong. So that's all I have to say about that.
YouTube Shorts made me curious to know more about so many topics I would never have encountered otherwise. Good point.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yep. Okay.
I'm just an ass. I don't know.
It's cool. It's just I just didn't enjoy making them. I felt like weirdly rushed and stressed about the whole thing, and I just I don't really want to.
I mean, I think for me it boils down to I don't watch them, so I just don't have the interest in making them.
Damn, Lovecraft. Respect.
Okay.
I grew my main channel to 150K subs in 2 months. Now I feel qualified to give unsolicited advice.
You
damn straight.
Right on.
Yeah. Seriously. Vintage Sci-Fi has some of the best YouTube Shorts for books that I've seen. Yeah. He does both.
Richards,
he does both. Oh shit, Cody got a year on us. I'm 48. I don't feel old yet. The time says otherwise. Agreed. I'm in my 50s. You're all babies. All right. Okay. I do want Virgil to talk about that, but let me quickly just scroll down here and
I don't know. I try not to look over here too much because I get distracted.
Yeah, talk about being in your 50s, Virgil.
Oh, I'm not in my 50s yet.
I know. I'm just looking at the one comment right here.
Talk about me being in my 50s. It'll happen eventually. I hope.
My youngest son was into Redwall. We still use the cookbook for our New Year's Eve Redwall. That's cool.
I've always been interested in it too. Like you said, that and there was that comic that gets brought up a lot too, Mouse Guard. And I've always been interested in that. I used to have the Mouse Guard RPG, but I don't have it anymore. How things go.
Mr. Bandana Head, I think is here for you, Virgil.
It is pricey. So if you just want a copy of the book, a physical copy, you can hunt a bit, and you might be able to find something that's like it's not exactly cheap, but not crazy. But if you want something nice, yeah, it's like goes from crazy to insane, and that's all that there is. If you just want it to like kind of look good on the shelf, although I have seen some that like the cover looks good, but then you turn the book just a little bit to the side, you're like, oh, it looks bad.
I think Levi changed his name to the Book Graveyard on here.
No, that's totally Nick, right? Oh, all right. Nick's getting punny. What's up? I don't like YouTube shorts. I only wear YouTube pants.
I actually thought about doing the YouTube short thing of like shorts and just like doing book reviews outside every day in shorts, no matter what time of year it was.
See, I would appreciate that. I would watch that.
I thought about it, but I was like, I don't think anybody's going to care. It's like a gimmick, and then nobody's going to care.
That's the kind of thing that if you just did that, you could probably make a living these days.
Yes. Just like,
so
like 60 seconds in the snow talking about a book.
Nick, I couldn't wear my Book Graveyard shirt. I actually thought about it. Thank you for sending it to me. I'm going to wear it in one of my videos, but it is just sweltering. We're over 100 out here, and I just the swamp cooler is not doing its job, and I just can't do it. But Nick Graveyard or the Book Graveyard has awesome merch, and you should check it out. And I am going to wear it in a video eventually, but man, that is too hot.
Nick is attempting to sponsor my entire wardrobe.
Seriously, I love it.
You just have like all these like booktube like advertisements, like you're a racer or something.
I mean, I think he sent me 3 or 4 shirts.
Did you get a doll? Did you get one of the doll ones?
One, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Constance says, well, I'm 66 and still very, very cool. Yes, you are, Constance.
If you're watching this stream, you're the coolest.
That's right. You guys will start seeing these DAW shirts all over the place. They're badass. I think Jake is the one that designed them. I don't know where he got the image from or anything, but it's cool. And then Nick, who owns a printing company.
Yeah, print shop, I think, or printing company. Printing, that's right.
I don't know if he sells shirts individually, but if you want a DAW shirt, get a hold of Nick from the Book Graveyard.
I know he sells the Book Graveyard shirts. I don't know about the other ones.
Yeah, he definitely sells the Book Graveyard shirts, and they are cool. They have the Book Graveyard down the reason they're too hot for me right now is their long sleeve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, I should have led with that. The Book Graveyard. All right, I'm gonna go through. Sorry. Let's ask another question. Everybody ready?
Oh, yes.
Okay. We're calling that good with the comments. And let's see. In which novel by Thomas Harris was Dr. Hannibal Lecter first seen? Don't say anything if you know in the comments. Comment if you know it. Brian's not watching the comments.
Don't lie.
You said in what movie was he first seen? Is that what you said?
No. Which book by Thomas Harris was Dr. Hannibal Lecter first seen? This is the book. Yep. All right, what's your guess, Brian?
I haven't read it, but is it Red Dragon?
Red Dragon is correct.
Okay.
Actually got
started with Finity. Captain Finity said Red Dragon, and Tim said Red Dragon, and John said Red Dragon, and Cody said Red Dragon.
I would have said Blue Dragon to be different.
Because I was saying if we're doing movies, I think it's the 80s Manhunter.
Yeah, that's right.
Isn't that just Red? That's just a Red Dragon.
That's the original version of it, basically.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't remember. I'm not
that
sure.
was actually filmed like in like my city.
Oh.
I got to tell you, Tim, I absolutely love horror, but there's stuff that I can't handle, and it's more true in movies, gore in movies. I'm going to spoil this, so if you haven't seen Red Dragon, and mute this for a minute. But there's a scene at the end where
I know what you're talking about.
He's feeding him his own brain, like he's got his skull open and he's cutting out pieces of this guy's brain, but the guy can't feel it. No, I can't take it. Like I've never, just like Silence of the Lambs, there's this stupid part where the person lures a woman into his van by pretending like he had a broken leg and couldn't get a couch. Like I suddenly didn't want to help people after that movie for like years. Like that shit like sticks with me. It's so hard. So I don't think like right now, if you were like, let's watch Red Dragon, I don't think I could do that. Yeah.
That probably says good things about you.
I guess so.
I love horror movies, and I can watch pretty much not anything, but pretty much anything. And my wife is kind of like you in that she's like, it's not that I don't like the movies, but that stuff sticks with me. And it's she's like, it's bad for my brain. But she's so interested that she'll like read the Wikipedia synopsis and be like, you should see this horror movie. I already read the whole Wikipedia page. And I'm like, okay, well.
Yeah, it's
so she can read it, but she can't see it.
I read the synopsis for Human Centipede or whatever the hell that torture movie was. and I had nightmares. I had bad dreams that night from the synopsis of that stupid movie. I've never watched it. Okay, it looks like Manhunter is indeed Red Dragon.
Nice.
It's the first adaptation of Red Dragon. And Manhunter was not that good for me. The book was messed up, but I couldn't put it down. So maybe not the best. It always amazes me to remember that Hannibal Lecter is on screen only for 16 minutes on Silence of the Lambs. Is that true?
Yeah, he isn't in very much of the movie. Now that I think about it.
Jodie Foster and the cops, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the questions here is, can you name the two serial killers that are included in Silence of the Lambs?
Well, the other one is
Hannibal Lecter and Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
Damn, Brian, you're so good. Oh, so Levi, damn it, you did it, Levi. You brought us back to Stephen King. Gerald's Game is the kind of the last Stephen King book that I read in the 90s when I kind of went on to different stuff. And yeah, that what do they call it? Decluttering.
Is Levi often chained to beds?
Probably.
Have
you seen him?
Is that why he's so afraid of that?
I assume that's kind of his Friday and Saturday night. I
have read that one. I liked it. It was good.
Yeah, it was. There's some creepy stuff, man. That Hannibal TV. Oh, never thought of getting it. Never thought I had to silence my phone. The Hannibal TV series adapted Red Dragon as well in the 3rd season, and I really enjoyed that show. Very fucked up. Which I never saw a TV series.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I know it exists. Yeah, I can stick with me too. It can be. I can kind of like specifically stay away from certain things because it's like it kind of brings me down. I just kind of feel bummed after some of that stuff. So that's why it's like that I can't handle it. It's just it kind of bums me out. It's like
Sephiroth, absolutely.
That's fair.
Hard to make a film of Red Dragon because the suspense of the story is built on the horrendous crimes. No movie yet depicted it. So even the scene I was talking about wasn't a pure depiction of the of how crazy the book is. Constance.
I think it's like your shirt if you stand up, Chris. You know, most books are.
Sure. Sorry. This is why live is the best.
We completely derailed Brian's comment. It's like, okay,
that would never happen in a video. I hope Jake had his his camera going. Okay. So, Brian, the other day, I don't know, we talk so often that I don't remember if we were making a video or if we were just having a conversation. Didn't you say that it was that novel, the Hannibal Lecter novel, that changed horror fiction, moved it towards thrillers and kind of ended the horror boom?
You know, don't quote me on this, but we've all read the Paperbacks from Hell, and I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, it's been a while since I've read it, but I believe, yes, that is the novel that when it came out, it'd be so popular that people, they didn't like the term horror anymore, and the market shifted towards these like thrillers, the word thriller, a lot of them, you know, serial killer stuff. Yeah.
And then true crime.
I believe it was that novel. Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Hannibal was real creepy in the movie. Thought it was weird when he became the leader of the A-team. Okay, not for me, Chris. The first family he kills in the book had such sick details. I'm not going to read that book.
Yeah, I don't know.
What kind of show is this? So racy. Couldn't get into the TV series. Rolling Stones is twins and a grandma. So explain thumbnail. Subs just jumped up. That joke was just for me. Don't worry about it. The camera is always on.
That's right.
Never mind, Chris. Get it. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, I had an undershirt on, or that would have been just scarring.
Well, there was all that talk earlier about showing skin. So
this is kind of a horror themed show, so it would have fit right in.
Oh,
my phone down when I got a call.
So Brian, what books have you read that you really? I don't know if you've ever said like what books are some of your favorite books. Have you ever talked about it like that, or done a? I don't know if you've ever done your all time favorites, or you know, it doesn't be that crazy. Like this isn't definitive, but
I don't know if I can. That's such a hard question, you know.
What's the best book you've read recently?
This is so hard, guys.
Put you on the spot. Sorry.
Yeah, I think last year I put my top book of the year is The Reformatory by Tananarive Due. It's a newer horror book, but it's like arguably not horror in the sake that we think of it, but it's about early 1900s in the South. This black kid who gets sent to a reformatory school where the headmaster is like horrible. And it's all about how it's terrible being African-American in the American South, but there's ghosts, but it's kind of a twist on horror in that the ghosts are not the scary part, the humans are, and the ghosts are kind of like the victims. It was just so well written and so well told that I put that as my number one of last year.
Wow. It sounds like I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah. As far as this year, I don't know. I'll let you know at my number one video.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to spoil it.
Well, I don't know off the top of my head. I've read a handful of good things though.
Yeah, Off Season is one that I will skip probably, but I
have read Off. There's a sequel, and I think I accidentally read the sequel. It's Off Season and Off something. I think I read the sequel.
Isn't it like Scouts? Like they're out camping?
Oh, they're it's like a family of cannibals out in the woods.
Oh. Mm. Yeah, Jack Ketchum. I feel like shit, Brian, if I had to read a Jack Ketchum novel, is there one I would like? And how many have you read? I don't even know.
I've read two. I know there's Off Season and there's Off, and I can't remember the second one. And I accidentally read the second one years ago without having read the first one. And I liked it. And then I read Cover by Jack Ketchum, which is like a World War, or it's like a Vietnam vet kind of going after, trying to kill some people in the woods because he's got like some. And the Cover was good. And I think he also did Red, which was made into a movie. It's like someone kills someone's dog and then the guy goes after everybody. But I know most of his books, like The Girl Next Door, you wouldn't like.
Isn't that a Keanu Reeves movie?
Which one?
Somebody kills his dog and he goes after them?
No, I think it's like Bruce Willis and.
No, what am I thinking of? What's the
Keanu Reeves? John Wick.
I'm thinking about John Wick. Yeah, all right.
Similar premise, I guess.
Animorphs, just say it.
Animorphs.
It's fantastic.
Dang, mine. The best book Brian has read is my book.
That's right.
I did actually just finish your book. So.
What'd you think?
I prefer it.
Are you going to make a video about it?
No, but I'll talk about it in a monthly wrap up.
Okay. Jack Ketchum was amazing. Yeah, it's strange. So I started The Cellar.
That's Richard Lehman.
Holy shit! I'm not even talking about the same writer. Okay. So I got to maybe.
This is a longer story. He was going to tell you about how he.
Yeah, maybe.
Jack Ketchum is a better writer. His prose is inarguably better, but Richard Lehman is maybe he's like just pure trash fun.
It's like
It's
campy.
like a campy slasher movie.
Yeah.
Just with sex and violence and unabashed about it. Jack Ketchum tackles really some more serious stuff, but he's a better actual writer.
Okay. So he's the one that did Let's Go Play at the Adams.
No, that's Mendel Johnson.
You guys are terrible at this. What Ketchum did you say that I really recognized?
I don't know if
The Girl Next Door. The Girl Next Door.
I'm not recommending. I haven't read it, but that's like kind of the start of extreme horror.
Yeah, because that's the one that Paperbacks from Hell talked about a lot.
So that and Let's Go Play at the Johnsons are both based on the same real life crime.
Oh, okay.
Which is basically a horrendous story about a woman who tortures children in her basement. So
yeah. Oh. Jack Ketchum wrote a Western that's not extreme, but he also wrote a short one called I'm Not Sam. I'm Not Sam, That's Haunting.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, he's a good writer.
Yeah, I've meant to read him for a long time, but I just never actually have.
Actually, given there's already one historical Hannibal and 2 fictional ones, I'm taking Hannibal as the character name too. Boom! Hannibal it is. Captain Hannibal Flinty. Excellent work, team. I'm excited to read this.
I'll read it.
The best Richard Lehman is The Traveling Vampire Show.
Traveling Vampire Show is great. I also liked Night in the Lonesome October. Island is I could talk about Island. I won't though. I mean, Island is maybe his trashiest, pulpiest one, and it's from the POV of this like 15-year-old kid who is just such a deplorable, horny piece of shit. I'm like, God, this just feels like Richard Lehman's sick fantasy. And then at the very end, something happens. I guess this isn't really a spoiler because who cares? But if it is, sounds here. But
mute us.
Towards the end, you find out that the guy you've been following is actually the killer. And then you're like, oh, so I guess this excuses him being a disgusting piece of shit the whole book. It was fun.
Be the very best.
Oh yeah, that's Ash Ketchum. Yeah,
like no one ever was. I used to sing that song to my daughter, and I'd sing "Gotta Catch a Few," and she would just lose her shit every time.
Gotta catch them all, Dad.
Gotta catch a couple. I had all kinds of these.
That's the most bad thing ever.
Dang it, Tim. Dang it, Jake. I'm just surprised we got that stupid joke out before Levi did. Oh, I had more restraint than that. Island is pure trash, and I love it.
It is the definition of trash. I was actually reading that on a on a plane coming back from Europe, and my wife finished her book. And the plane, like the AC was broken, so everyone was having a miserable time. And she finished her book, and she started reading mine over my shoulder, and it was Island by Richard Lehman. And and she was reading faster than me, so she just like took the book and finished it. And then she was like, "That was a disgusting piece of trash. What are you reading?"
Yeah, it's really strange. This is something I've been thinking about a lot because we started doing this horror stuff. Do either of you have PIN available near you? Boom. Okay.
Oh, that was faster. That was faster.
I'm gonna mess with this. Last time this would not work for me, but
okay.
Let's see if it will this time. Okay, so this segues perfectly into one thing I wanted to talk about. Yeah. So here's PIN. Show him that step back art.
Are you ready for this? Ooh, watch out.
Get it closer there.
Okay, it was too far away.
Yeah, I want to throw in the thumbnail I made, Virgil.
I don't know how to do it.
Oh, damn.
You trying to spoil it?
It's all on you. I don't know. I don't even know if I have it. Ooh, I can try.
But I'm so glad Virgil made this kind of horror thing because I've always loved horror fiction.
You guys swapped sides now. I'm confused.
I don't know where I'm at. I can't even see me.
But when I was when I got to be a serious young man, which is something stupid we all do when we're young, I was like, horror isn't that's just kind of genre fiction, and I fell for that whole stupid thing that I could talk about for hours because, in my opinion, genre fiction is incredible and all fiction can be taught. But anyway, it feels really strange for me to read a book and like it without being able to unpack it like I do on my channel with a lot of the other stuff. And I find that books like Pin, which we have just talked about. Oh my God, I think Virgil has done it. All right. So we decided that
over here.
So we read Pin. There's an episode that's going to be dropped tomorrow. Episode 1 of the Secret Society Read is going to be dropped on Virgil's channel tomorrow. He needs the views, so go check it out. I want to show you guys.
Check it out because you actually are interested in hearing us talk about it.
Oh, here's the thumbnail I made. It's
which is actually great.
It is it's our family photo. You can see Brian there at the Tomb Licker for this one there in the front, and then I'm on the side there leaning on the lady that's what's her name, Ursula. Who's sitting on the lap of Pin, the anatomical dummy that they believe is alive and telling them to do stuff.
Chris, I just can't handle you. You look like the teenager who doesn't want to be there. I don't know.
I didn't. That was kind of what I was going for. There was another one where I was doing like the "gah" face, but I didn't use that one. And then you could see Virgil or Corpse Choker over there standing by Leon.
That's right.
And I want to get this framed. I want to get it framed and put it back here for whenever we do these Secret Society Read videos.
It'd be good.
Holy crap, it was a lot of work.
It was worth it.
It looks great, honestly.
How do we drop a link to your channel, Virgil?
Well, I have no idea.
Somebody asked,
the wrong guy.
Somebody asked in the comments for you to drop a link.
Oh, you can do the literally. You can do that.
Oh, I can do it. Okay, I'll just try.
I guess so. I have no idea if it works in the chat, but that's what on YouTube.
Did you know there's another Literally Books, Virgil?
What's that?
There's another channel called Literally Books that talks about.
I think
books.
There is. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I searched your name recently, and 2 channels popped up, and I was like, "What?"
I saw that. I was like, "Well, okay."
Yeah, you should get them. You should get them on and have a chat. Be friendly.
When I actually first started, I was like, "Surely somebody's already taken this," and they hadn't. But I got lots of hits for like actual stores, like in the real world. I'm like, okay, that's fine, because I didn't want to have a channel, and I didn't want that to happen. So I don't know. I guess it'll be. I mean, it can only. To me, it's like it can only help me.
Yeah.
If like now somebody's like accidentally searched, because I think theirs has got like an underscore something or whatever.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
I think what my final point is it's really hard for me to like something without being able to pontificate on it, which is, I think, just something that happens when you put your brain so much into education. And I went into literature, but yeah, it's been really fun to read like Pin, which is not a bad book. It's incredible. I really enjoyed it, and we do pontificate on it a lot. Link doesn't work. I don't know how to do a link, people. I'm sorry.
At Literally Books, or I don't know. We'll do it.
Yeah, what I'll do
get it there.
The minute
Chris can share it on this channel.
The minute that I'm done here, I will go and put it in the description of this video, so that you guys. So before you leave, I'll end this and quickly jump in to you. Well, I wonder if I can do it now.
I'm just making sure I spelled literally right. It's like
I can't.
Like, did I make a spelling mistake? No, I'm okay.
I'm going to go into.
It's not Virgil. It's just at literally. So anyway.
And I do want to add, of course, that Brian's link is in there as well, and Brian can always use subscribers, and his stuff is absolutely worth it. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
I'm going to drop Virgil in here. Let's see if this will work while I'm actually streaming live. My God, it will. Mm-hmm. All right. I have now saved it in the description of this video. So if you'd like to link to Virgil's channel. It is in the description. How about a question? Everybody ready for another question?
Oh, yes, of course.
All right.
Red.
Yeah,
that's my answer.
Probably correct.
New Orleans can boast of having two well-known women writers of vampire fiction among its citizens. Who are they? Not you yet, Brian.
I mean, I feel like I can guess
easy.
one.
Yeah. So the
I'm not
second
sure
one is
about the second one.
Everybody knows the one. Who's
Yeah.
the second New Orleans
Oh, wait, maybe I know.
woman vampire writer?
Maybe I know.
Anybody know? Anne Rice is the first. Sorry, I didn't mean to give that away.
That was my guess.
Yep. Everybody, I'm sure, thinks of Anne Rice.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Beverly Cleary is close, but that's not right. Oh, Musophonic Recordings got it right. Anybody want to answer here in the live chat? It has been answered. Oh, here's Jake's answer.
Yeah, that's what I laughed about.
Martha Stewart.
I didn't know she was a vampire now.
All right. You don't know it, Brian?
I don't think I do.
Sweet. I was able to stump the master.
Oh, Poppy Z. Bright. Well, is the question accurate? Is she a woman?
Poppy Z. Bright's a woman, yeah.
I thought she was a trans man or something.
I don't know that.
Maybe not. I could be wrong.
Yeah, Poppy Z. Bright's a woman.
I don't know. I'm not going to grab my phone.
Now we're all just looking at it.
I'm just going to stare at the camera.
Okay, you're right. I don't know why I was thinking that. Oh, no. Yeah, it says, yeah.
I was thinking the True Blood person from True Blood.
Oh, no, it's a he.
Yeah. So it was a trick question.
Just under a pseudonym.
Yeah, I was thinking Charlene Harris, but I wasn't sure. But it's.
Well, let me look at this question again.
Uh-oh.
That was a trick question.
Let's see if it said, because I don't see anything about him being trans or.
It might just be a guy. I thought that I knew there was something about that it was a guy or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never read any Poppy Z. Bright, so I wouldn't have guessed that.
Not either.
I've heard Poppy Z. Bright is fantastic. I want to read some Poppy Z. Bright.
I've also heard.
Where did the question go?
I read short stories, but that's it. I think was that I read a short story in that Cthulhu collection, and I cannot remember if the story that I read was a Poppy Z. Bright story, but if it was very, very good and kind of funny. But I don't remember, but I can't remember the title of the story, and I don't have that book in front of me, so there's no telling.
I've always heard good things
that
about
information is worthless.
Yeah, Exquisite Corpse or whatever. That's the big one.
Oh yeah.
Do interesting stuff, guys.
Do interesting stuff.
What do we do? Let's see. Well, do you have do you have a style of horror that you really like, Brian? Like a certain like theme or something that you see in horror that you think is really you enjoy, you kind of maybe look for?
Yeah, I mean first
yeah.
So when it comes to movies, I love Dead Alive and Evil Dead and exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this question was written earlier.
You guys were making me feel confused and doubt myself, but I thought that was a trans guy.
Yeah, nope, you're absolutely right. Yeah, so this question is old, I think. Yeah. Does Viagra work on vampires? What's up, Lawrence? How are you doing?
I don't know. Would it be beneficial to them?
She talked about having feelings to transition. Okay. I didn't know any of this. This is awesome. Sweet. So yeah, now the question doesn't work anymore.
That's right.
All right.
Nope.
All right. Sorry, I stopped the whole stream.
So what were you going to say, Brian? I'm sorry. What were you saying about?
I have no idea. What was it? Oh, I like in movies. Obviously one of my favorite all-time movies of all time is The Thing. And I think I saw it when I was really young, and all the practical effects and the over-the-top blood and the gore really spoke to my demented mind. And it was like Dead Alive and the Evil Dead 2 and like all of that became like my thing, like the splatter comedy, like the gore so over the top it's funny kind of thing. And so I think finding that in books is been a bit, the kind of like splatterpunk-esque is at least what I thought of as splatterpunk, has been a big interest for me. But I like all kind of horror, really. Open-minded.
Absolutely, Curtis.
Awesome. Yeah, so splatterpunk is weird because I want to say that I read a Joe R. Lansdale book and he talked about what so like my working definition of what splatterpunk is comes from like I think Lansdale talking about it. So what would you call, I mean, like, make sure I'm on the right track. So I always thought that splatterpunk was sort of like trying to make a reader almost have like a physical reaction to what they're reading. So like almost hoping to kind of make you slightly nauseous or to make you kind of go, ugh, like instead of trying to scare you, it's trying to make you react to the violence that you're seeing.
To me, that definition fits more with extreme horror.
Okay.
As I understand it, extreme horror, kind of rose from like Jack Ketchum's The Girl Next Door, in that it is just pushing the boundaries of like what we can write, like how extreme and graphic in terms of sex or violence or taboo topics can we get in this book, which there's a big movement in literature of that now. And that's kind of its own separate thing. But I feel like that rose from splatterpunk, which was more, in my mind, like, kind of cool, edgy writing styles of a fast-paced kind of over-the-top, bloody, gory act like ride, but not necessarily like it's splattery. It's not like torture.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's
I think it was
specifically splatterpunk is supposed to have kind of a political message in it as well. I could be wrong on that.
Okay, interesting.
I have not read Hog, and I don't want to.
That's
that
crazy
is aggressive literature. I know Ollie talked about Hog and did a very interesting topic in that, and don't quote me on this, but go watch the video with Ollie did. But from what I recall from his video, Delaney wrote that because he was a gay man, and he wrote a book with the most horrific content he could think of, and also gay characters, so that the gay sex in the book was normal compared to the rest of the stuff, so that people who would read it, it would push the boundaries of what society found acceptable to finding the gay sex in the book acceptable, because the rest is definitely not acceptable. And so his goal was to change society's outlook on things by putting extreme stuff in the book. Now, I have not read it, but that's my understanding of transgressive.
This stuff. We didn't have you on here, we never would have known that.
That's really interesting. Because I knew Delaney was a gay man. I did not know that was the reason for the extreme response.
To my understanding, I still don't think I could read the book, but
I couldn't.
Explains why he did it.
Yeah. The Drive-In trilogy by Lansdale is right up Chris's alley, in my opinion.
I haven't read
that.
Fantastic writer.
I'm gonna have to type it in my notes here.
I do like Joe R. Lansdale. I've read some of his short stuff that's older. I read my first thing I've read of him was this like novella called Mad Dog Summer, which you really would like, Chris. That's in a collection called 999, and it was written in 1990. It came out in 1999. And that was really good. That's where I read that. I think it won an Edgar Award, I think, or maybe he turned it into a novel and won an Edgar. I don't remember. But that's really good. And then he wrote all kinds of pulpy stuff. His big thing now is like this sort of like kind of like a detective, like I don't know exactly what a hard-boiled detective is, right? But this sort of detective series called Happen Leonard, I think. And I've read one or two of those, and those are good too. But they're more crime fiction, or like
I think he's kind of moved towards crime over the years. Yeah,
but he is really good.
Hello to Alan, really quick. Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, Alan's cool.
Yeah. Also, Big Hard Books and Classics is a great freaking title. I just realized, Virgil, if anybody's interested, you can click on, I think you can click on his name. It will take you away from the live stream, so please don't yet. But Virgil, if you commented, I bet people could just click on your name as well.
Oh, really? I could try it. Okay, I will join the chat.
I believe Lovecraft, it's weird. It's very strange because this falls right into what we were talking about on episode 0 of our Secret Society.
Go watch on Virgil's channel.
Yeah, check it out on Virgil's channel. Point the other way, Brian.
This is what it looks like for me.
Nope, that's wrong. You're pointing at me. Well, actually, I don't know what it looks like to the people. It might look different to all of us.
Point to your screen.
What was I saying? Oh, it depends on where you draw the line for disgusting, because Pin has some stuff in it that is not normal by any stretch of the imagination. It includes some sexual stuff that is uncomfortable to read. It absolutely does, but it is a killer read. It's really good, and I think everything that's in it is in there for a reason. So I guess if we change the question to the concept of what I always just called torture porn, where I felt like there was literally no reason, no statement made in the piece, then I could say, yeah, I don't understand why anybody would want to watch that. I don't get it at all. But it's strange because I also just read When Darkness Loves Us and by Elizabeth Engstrom. We're going to be talking about that eventually as well. And that has some messed up stuff happening in it. So I don't know.
I think you serve. Sorry. I think you serve, you're correct in that. And I've explained this before, and we've discussed this in the video with Virgil, so you should check that out. But it really does depend on what the reason for the content is.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you read a horror book and something horrific happens and they describe it in graphic detail, sometimes it can add more punch to the story, because horrible things do happen in life, and maybe it shouldn't always be shied away from. But I think oftentimes there is no point, and then it's like, yeah, it makes you feel a little icky reading it.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that Le Guin novel, Left Hand of Darkness, where there's this scene where the main character is sort of like captured, and it's very harrowing, and it's kind of almost painful to read. And it's not that that's fun to read, but it's trying to give that impact, so that it feels alienated, or like, and it just feels like dehumanizing, and she's trying to say that for a reason, because there's a whole book is about like gender and like what somebody chooses to be and how they are. It's a fantastic book. And so in that case, it's like it made sense. But then, like, Brian, you had that video with that Silverberg book that you read that you hated, and it was like, okay, so this was not handled right. This is just in here to be like salacious and gross, not to do anything interesting or meaning. Didn't sound like it was, to me, doing any work that needed to be done, just sort of being gross.
Yeah, and everybody reads differently, and I could have been wrong. Maybe there was a point to it, but I didn't see one. But yeah. Oh, and Michael McDowell, by the way, is fantastic. I love Michael.
Yeah, that's
McDowell.
That's what I was nodding at. Not that you could be wrong, by the way.
We read Blackwater together, but I've also read Cold Moon Over Babylon, The Elementals, and Katie, and I loved all of them. Katie, nobody talks about, but is my absolute favorite. Read Katie.
It's funny because that's the one of his that I think sells the most.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, people want Katie. That's the one they want the most.
I had a copy at one point. I think I sold it on eBay years ago.
Good. Hopefully you got a lot for it. Yeah, so if you guys are interested, on my channel there is a video of us three, actually.
Channel over here.
Nope, wrong side. Well, for me it's the wrong side. I don't know. Where we discussed Blackwater. I only have half the series. I think Greg, another bibliophile reads, has them all, and I'm super jealous of that. But that's where Virgil got the idea to invite us into doing this. When we were done, he just said, "Okay, what's the next horror read we're going to do?" Because talking about Michael McDowell with Brian and Virgil was just so much fun.
It was good.
It was
just as fun to talk about Penn.
Yeah, and absolutely. I'm excited for that video to come out. I do think it would be enhanced if people read the book.
Yes. There's some spoiler notes there. You've got about 15 or so minutes in the 16 minutes at the beginning of the video that you can watch there's a note that comes on the screen and says, "Hey, spoilers ahead." Then there's a very large segment of spoiling video there, and then then there's about I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes at the end of the video, but there's the chapters and stuff on the thing for YouTube. So to show it's got a thing that tells you what timestamp to go to and all that stuff. So you don't have to be spoiled.
And I feel like,
and there is something at the end of the video too, where it's something that we talked about that's not about the book. That is really funny that we found out. We'll save it. You have to watch it. That we found out about Andrew Niederman. that was true. Very humorous and definitely worth just worth seeing just to see that.
For sure. I also will say that this is the type of book that I feel like you could watch an entire spoiler for and then read it and love the crap out of the book.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It might just make you want to read it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I have never read that, but I've heard it's excellent.
So
I have read it.
This is insane because when you're done with it, you just have to sit back and take a break. Like, I would definitely say this is psychological horror sci-fi. Definitely. It is horrific. And so well written.
I didn't have as strong a reaction. I really liked it, and I know it's horrific, but I didn't react as strongly to it. But I did like the story a lot. But I don't know.
Oh, dang it! Never mind. That doesn't work. No, clicking names just lets you report or block the person.
Okay, it's okay because I tried to log in and it was like saying something about you want to log back into StreamYard. I'm like, oh, I better leave that alone.
Yeah, Delaney's weird. Delaney's a weird one. I know that Grammaticus Books read something that had just awful stuff involving people underage. That
isn't he as a person an advocate for NAMBLA?
He might be, and I don't know if that's going to get this video flagged.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, I don't. The two science fiction Delaney's that I've read have had no sex in them at all, and I absolutely loved them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Speculative Reader had a really good like retrospective of his book. If you're looking for something, he had a really great video where he went through all Delaney's career and talked about different books. So I definitely watched that and was like, "Ooh, this seems like a book I want to read." So maybe that would help.
Yeah,
I've never read him, so
I haven't either. Yeah, Ellison is really good short stories, really good. I think I got interested in Ellison because of Stephen King. Sorry, but he talked about that book, that short story in Strange Wine. About the giant crocodile who lives in the sewers that lives on aborted babies.
What?
Yeah. I was like, I need to find this book. And it is a good book, by the way.
Wow. It doesn't sound like it would be.
Well, that's just a short story in the book, right? So is that a whole book of that?
I was like, whoa.
Like, wow, over the library ladder for that one. Look at the size of this book.
I want to read. I actually picked up. I picked it up on Speculative Reader's video. I picked up the
small print.
We just have to review it by next Tuesday. So
that's it.
It was great. I loved it.
You read it, okay?
No,
I read one.
I've never read
it. Was great.
I read one runner.
This is my new short series. This book was great. The end.
This book was great. The end. That's my short.
These shorts are easy. I mean, I can do this all day.
No, I wish. I think it's a classic. I know that. I think it's probably right up my alley. But
there's that one, and then there's another. There's a next one, which is like the something looks up. The sheep look up, or is that what it is? Or
yeah, that's also him. I think.
I think it's like this. Not exactly a sequel, but sort of like part of a pseudo series.
Yeah, the sheep look up. It's like climate fear fiction or climate change fiction or
like it's a related theme or something. Again, I'm citing that Speculative Reader video about Bruner.
I believe this is why everybody wants Katie. That cover is a classic.
It is a very cool cover.
Yeah.
I'd have to look it up. I don't know it offhand.
Okay, I'm gonna do an evil thing.
Okay.
Except for I just saw this out of the corner of my eye. Okay. Any thoughts on Thomas Ligotti?
Never read him.
I have a book over here I've been meaning to read for quite a while. I did recently read What is the name of the book? It's all about like classic movie monsters. And it's like what is it? It had like Dr. Moreau, Dracula, the Wolfman. I can't remember who else. And it's him writing this. It's sort of like it's a short story, but he's like talking about all these characters, and they all have like these strange problems. Like Dr. Moreau is angry at his creation because it won't assault this woman when he leaves it alone with her. It starts like proposing to her. And so it takes this really weird sort of like look at these classic movie monsters and sort of like flips things around a little bit. It was really entertaining. I really liked it. I think I read that because I saw, who was it? One of the bigger like luxury printers was re-releasing that and another short story as like a slim hardback. I was tempted. It was a little high, but for how much content there was, but I was very tempted by it.
Nice.
So yeah, I like him. I definitely want to read more. I know it's not what he's known for. He's not known for comedic stuff. But yeah, I really have the little bit I've read of him. I really liked.
Yeah, I think one of these days we're gonna have to do a deep dive into Delaney and figure all this out, because I've heard that he never was. I've seen huge debates on Facebook about this.
I apologize if I was wrong. I just heard someone on BookTube said that, and in my head, but I don't actually know.
He just did research and says he did and he didn't.
I haven't Googled it. I said that based on things I've heard at some point. So don't take my word for it, but
dark topic. We're going to jump off that, and Tim's going to give us a chance to do it with this question.
Ooh, okay. So I do have an answer for that. So yeah, if anyone doesn't know, there were a lot of series in the 90s, and I could show some off if I ran to get them, but we'd like to do that on this channel, right? Hold on.
Yep. We never saw him again. He never comes back. I've never read any of the Goosebumps. I never read any of that young adult stuff like that when I was younger. Anything that I read at that age that wasn't adult fiction, I have like no memory of. I just don't have any memory of any of it.
Ooh!
So I just grabbed a handful, but there were a bunch of series that tried to emulate Goosebumps, like the Shivers series, the Bone Chillers series.
Right, you talked about Bone Chillers.
The Dead Time stories.
Hey, Brian, get up! I'm glad.
The Spine Tinglers. And so yeah, I've been into collecting the Goosebumps knockoffs, and the best one I've read so far I don't still have, but it was Doomsday Mall, which is a really hard series to find. I think there's only 5 or so entries in it, and I read one called The Hunt, and it did not feel like it was written for middle grade children, and that's why it's one of my favorites. But it's basically like these kids in a mall that are being hunted by a dude with a shotgun and 2 Dobermans, and it's like, I was like, how was this book written for children?
It sounds interesting. It sounds like it could be exciting.
Yeah, it was just like the most dangerous game, but against children.
Yes, I think I've heard about this essay.
My kid had to read The Most Dangerous Game in English class last year.
Oh wow,
that's a great story.
Right? Can you believe that? I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. Yeah. So if we did do a Goosebumps, if you had to make Virgil and I read a Goosebumps, which one would it be?
Well, I mean, I just talked about in my last reading wrap up that I loved the Horror at Camp Jelly Jam.
Yeah, Horror at Camp
Jelly. A lot
Jelly
of fun.
Jam.
I think it's a good taste of what the best of Goosebumps can be.
What about Chicken?
I haven't gotten to that one yet, but I've heard it's terrible.
That came up in our Discord. Chicken. For some odd reason, that's
look. I haven't. It just goes that way. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's like supposed to be one of the worst ones. I'm reading my way through in order, so I haven't made it there yet.
One of the worst ones.
Well, we're gonna have to just pick one, and we're gonna have to do it, or I don't want Tim to riot.
I don't think I know Midnight Library.
I liked Midnight Library by Damon Graves as a kid. Didn't realize it was horror.
I haven't heard of that one.
I don't know that one either. What was the Goosebumps style series that was just really gross stuff?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's
I remember one had someone
awesome. You're like, oh, I know
out
exactly
of someone's nose and people vomiting each other's mouths on a roller coaster.
Oh,
and that one was written by it was a pen name written by I think it was written by like K.A. Applegate, the lady that wrote the Animorphs books, and she has said before she wants to maintain that secret because she's like, I don't want to like. She wrote it for money and she didn't want to associate with. I can't remember what it's called. It's like, but yeah, it's all about every book's about like barfing and pooping, and it's just as gross as it can get. I don't have any of them, but
I love that you chose the word barf too. That's just awesome.
One day at Horrorland. Is that it? Is Tim responding to that?
No, but he's saying that's his favorite Goosebumps, and he's arguably correct. That's one of the better entries.
Nick said Jelly Jam.
Jelly Jam's great. Jelly Jam slaps.
What a coincidence. I just got my entire Goosebumps collection back from my parents' house, revisiting some of them now. I have almost the entire original 62. I brought up Chicken in the Discord. That's why people were talking about it.
I'm bad about checking that, but yeah, it's wildly considered to be the worst entry, but I'm not going to say that because I haven't read it yet.
That's it right there, Jack. Jack Yo says that review for Jelly Jam made this Gen Xer real curious. Me too.
Yeah.
Real.
Me too.
I always say this, take this with a grain of salt, because for me, like, I did grow up reading these, and they were like, I think what made me fall in love with reading, because, and so for some people, they might not have the same impact. That's it. Barforama. Yep. That's why I said barf. It's in the title.
This is awesome.
Yep. The Barforama series.
The Barforama series. Oh, that was the name of the series.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And there's a bunch of them too. And it was written by the lady who wrote Animorphs, I believe.
Well, there was a gross out trend in like the 90s or something. I definitely remember like the toys and everything else. Like, oh, isn't this gross? That was a thing.
My kid is making a resume, her first resume, and she's like Discording me and calling me on the phone and texting me to look at the resume, and I just said I'm live, so if you're watching, kid, hi.
That's hilarious.
This ad's right here in the stream.
Sorry, Dad. I will read it when I'm done, I promise.
Awesome.
Okay, today's show is actually giving me too many ideas. Can you guys dumb things down a bit? That goes for the chat too.
So I do want to throw in a little fun fact since we're talking about this, but yeah, those are really rare. Actually, they're hard to find. I would love to read them, but I don't have them.
If anybody wants to send Brian a gift,
send me the Barforama series.
We can't say it anymore. Jake is literally paying us to stop saying the word. Sorry, Jake. We're done. We're done with that.
Yeah. No, I'll change the subject to something different. But I was going to say R.L. Stine famously, when he was starting to write the Goosebumps series, he said that there was a big trend in kids literature that every book had to have a message or like some sort of, it's supposed to teach something at the end, a moral, a lesson or whatever. And he very adamantly was like, why can't reading just be fun?
Yeah.
I just want reading to be fun. And I think that is one of the most brilliant things to happen in literature in the 90s, because if you listen to anyone my age talk about reading books, most of them started reading Goosebumps. And that's what made them fall in love with reading, because they were just fun. Yeah. And I think he did a great value to people my age and getting them into reading.
Now I want to talk about
soapbox, but
now I want to talk about what Gen Xers read. So first, I got to show this. This is my Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark collection. Mm-hmm. And I remember, so we had, I lived in a small town in Utah, and this isn't the original cover. They've made them glossy and super amazing. But we had what was, now I've forgotten the name of it, the Bookmobile. And the town was too small to have a library. So this, so this Bookmobile would come around, and this was the most Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark was the most checked out book. So, I mean, kids would fight over getting this. And I mean, look at the artist. What's his name? I forgot, Virgil.
I don't know. You're asking the wrong. I don't know,
Oh,
unfortunately.
there's a wonderful documentary. I emailed him once and asked him to do album art for me, and he said, "You can't afford me."
Well, at least he was honest.
I love this guy, man. I mean, just scared the shit out of him.
Wait, you really emailed him and he said, you can't afford me?
Yes. I emailed him and asked
that.
him to do a cover art, and he said, "You can't afford me."
That is my new favorite story. Because, it's fantastic. I read those as a kid, too.
Yeah.
You know the one about the toe or the thumb? Is
yes.
it a thumb
No,
or
the
toe?
toe in the soup.
Toe.
Speaking of Jake is cooking.
I was going to say, speaking of Jake is cooking, that's why I went and got this.
Here it is.
I have this one.
What is that?
What?
Gooflumps?
Eat cheese and bars.
Slime.
There are two of these. The other one has to do with toilets, but I only have that one.
Here's what Jake looks like standing up eating his soup. Yum, 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 yum. Yeah,
Did you watch the show that came out recently about that book series or the movie or whatever it was?
I watched the movie and I loved it.
Did you? I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, my favorite story from Scary Stories was the Scarecrow, and they did an incredible job of it.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that one.
Yeah. This scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. Absolutely incredible, and there's a documentary on it that's well worth it because they literally tried to remove it from schools because of that art, and that art was just incredible. And then my super secret one that it took me forever to find was this one. The I Can Read
remember
stories.
those.
Oh, that looks fun. I've never seen that.
Dark Room. And the reason that every Generation Xer knows this book is for one very specific story. Anybody can tell me what it is in the comments?
Oh, it's been so long since I thought about that stuff.
The story that we all remember but can't remember where we read it. Nope, nobody's commenting. All right.
No Gen Xers.
The Green Ribbon.
Oh. Yep.
I feel like I've heard you mention this, but I don't know.
Yeah. This is a story about a man that falls in love with a woman and courts her, and she always has a green ribbon around her neck. And they get married. They have a life together. She'll never take this ribbon off. And then one night, I think he sneaks while she's sleeping and takes the ribbon off. And horror ensues. So good. So good.
I'll have to look out for that one.
Yes.
One thing I did read a lot of, I just remembered, and I don't have them anymore, but I would read these like Time Life, like
before you move on.
Unknown.
I'm sorry. I just want to say one really quick thing.
Good.
Same guy that did different artist. So Stephen Gamble, I believe, is the name of the artist. Yeah, this Alvin Schwartz guy did tons of this is our Goosebumps.
Nice.
Generation X. I'm so sorry to
No, it's fine. So yeah, I read a ton of those like mysteries,
and mysteries.
Yeah, like it was all like about like cryptids and like ghosts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and my grandma got like the entire like Time Life like Mysteries of the Unknown series, all like 25 books, and I would just read those things, and they're supposed to be real ghost stories or whatever, and it would get to me for sure. It would really scare me.
Yeah, what were they called? The series was like Mysteries of the Occult and something.
They were black, black. It wasn't leather, but it was kind of like faux leather or whatever. And each one had a different subject or whatever. Like maybe it would be ghosts or hauntings. Some of them were some crossover, but I read those. Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, all that stuff. Oh, I was obsessed with that stuff.
Wow, I expected the stream to go crazy here, and
nobody. I don't remember the one about the toe Alan was saying, and I also don't remember the one Tim's saying.
So Mitai Doti Walker is the one where I think in the movie it was the one that came apart, came down the chimney, and then I think the head rolls in, and God, this stuff is good. Yeah, I think I remember that one. I'm afraid the chat. Somebody say something in the chat so I know you're all still alive, because I'm afraid that we've had a post-apocalyptic event and we're just sitting here talking to ourselves.
Right. Where's everybody at the stream?
Yay! Scary Stories was where I first heard the car door hook hand story. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Classic.
Yep.
Classic.
I forgot all about the
I
urban
died.
legend stuff. I died.
I was just scrolling back, looking at all the Sephiroth was posting various titles to the barfing series.
You can't. Jake paid us. You can't.
Yeah, you're right. That's why you didn't pop it up, huh? I do remember the hook one. Yeah.
We're here taking notes. What is it, Chris? I'm busy writing my comic book here.
Now it's a comic book. I thought it was a book.
Yeah, comic book is even more interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. If you want to hear a strange story of scaring yourselves in the past, I don't know. So I'm sure you guys told scary stories when you were little. Wait, what's that hook on the car door comes from? What are those books called again? Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark by Alvin Schwartz. Yeah, is what they're called. So well, I was hanging out with Jason when he was living here in New Mexico, in the same state as me, and we were over at his house, and we decided we were all like hyped up. We were young men, and he was just married, and we were talking about what we were going to do, and we were trying to figure something out. And we were like, let's play a game like we used to when we were kids. We had a game called Werewolf that was just this game where there was a safe space and everything. And Jason's like, no, we're not playing Werewolf in the house. That's ridiculous. But what we're going to do is we're going to send everybody outside, and one person's going to stay in the house and hide. And then everybody else is going to come back in. We're going to turn off all the lights, and you're going to walk around the house, and the person that's hiding is going to jump out and scare you. And let me tell you guys.
I'm sure how that's better, though. Is it? Like, how is that? Like, Jason's like, I'm just going to do my way, okay?
Oh, the damage he did to his house because of this game. But anyway, this became a huge thing for us. I cannot tell you guys how actually terrifying and fun it is for one person to stay in the house, hide in the dark, and everybody else has to walk through, and they're going to get jumped out and scared. And this blew up. It got wild. It got wild. There was a point where Jason, he had the stairs that went up like kind of in a circle. So there was a part of the house that he realized was closed in. And in one of the scare games, he literally broke out the back wall of the closet and climbed back there, so that as we were looking for him, we were like, why is there a hole in this wall? Yeah.
That actually sounds so much fun.
And I'm going to tell, I will eventually, I wanted to make a YouTube channel where I set up cameras in a house and had people walk through playing the scare game. People got crazy. They set up props. We have so many stories about the scare game.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, when you're a kid without a phone, you just make up so many fun things to do.
For sure.
Yeah. And my brother was the king of that. He was the older brother, so he always had they're all old folk stories, though. The Big Toe is based on the Native American story of the Talipo. Yeah. Alan Schwartz was a collector of folklore. Now that Chris has consented to the cameo, the comic book is definitely coming first. All right. I would like a copy. I want to read it.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
A signed copy.
That's right.
All right. I'm going to ask another question from these apparently old questions. Maybe. Oh, I was looking at Poppy Z. Bright. There we go. William Peter Blatty's The Exorcist, which came out in 1971, is based on real-life events. In which country and in which year did the real exorcism take place? That's a hard question.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I can guess a country, but I don't know.
When it actually happened?
I know where the stairs are. I've been to the stairs.
Have you? Did you take a picture?
I feel like I did. I don't know if I still have it. Do you know where those are? No. Where are Georgetown.
they? Oh. I got a first edition of The Exorcist, which I'm very happy about.
Nice.
This was a big book for me. The movie was big for me too.
Yeah.
And it's signed by Josie Marquez.
Oh, look at you.
Don't know who that is, or
you've got a signature though. But
yeah, that's right. There it is.
It's got to be worth something now. It just kind of felt like that was signed by this person.
Yeah, this was $6.95 when it first came out.
Now it's $6.98.
Chris's spare room this year was where the original actual exorcism took place. The exorcism was performed in St. Louis, USA. That could be true. You're saying that with such confidence. Yeah. But all they want is USA, so we got USA.
Oh, I was about to say Italy, so I don't know.
Oh,
my mother reads Goosebumps in Hell. Oh, that's a good Exorcist / Goosebumps joke. That's fantastic, Tim. Oh,
wasn't the story that it's based off of, like, you know?
I feel like it was
had mental illness.
Well, I don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
No, a little bit.
I don't know too much.
Jake paid us to stop talking about this. I feel like wasn't the original story a young man that was possessed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It did start in one place and it ended in another.
Oh, I didn't know that. The year apparently is 1949. If we can trust.
I think it's like in the 50s. So I guess that was a little early, but yeah, it starts in. I think somebody said Boston. I think that might be right. I know it's on the East Coast.
Well, somebody just said St. Louis and seemed very confident.
But then they moved to St. Louis, I think trying to get away from it. And it came with them. So, it's basically how they viewed it. And then yes, the Dominicans, is that right, in St. Louis? I think, right? A branch of the Catholic Church that would still do exorcisms, I guess, decided to do it. So. Yeah. So, and I don't live. I mean, I don't live in St. Louis, but I live near St. Louis. So
wait, where were the steps, Brian?
Georgetown. That's just where they filmed.
Where is that?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Like DC area.
Oh, I almost said DC. I kept trying to say Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, DC.
Yeah, it's like right across from Georgetown campus is where
somebody could probably get the details a lot more accurate, I'm sure.
So
intense movie, I think.
My good buddy, his mom, it scared her so bad that for like a couple of days she was afraid to go in and look at my buddy in his crib. And my mom remembers going opening night and they had priests there trying to talk people out of going in.
I believe that.
That movie was an event. It was.
Is that the movie? Huge. Is that the movie where when you got your ticket, they handed out the barf bags?
Yes. You did it again.
I did it on purpose.
Separately paid us to continue talking about barf.
See, the deal is that
now what?
Yeah, that's more than $2, so that trumps. It's got to be a bit more for which.
Oh my god!
I will say, Sephiros, to bring this back up, if you ever watched Library Macabre's channel, I believe he has a whole video where he buys the whole Barforama series. I don't think he read them all, but if you want to see more Barforama content, Library Macabre.
Like you got in on that one a little bit.
I have to give him his money worth.
Money was given. Constance says, yes, it was a boy that was possessed. Mr. Bandana Head is talking about
when I know my friend said that when his mom read the book that she would put it outside the house every night before she went to bed.
There's a meme that somebody put up where they were like their mom went and threw it in the ocean, so they went out and bought it and put it under the sink and then put it back on the nightstand. Oh my goodness. All right, I got to see Jake's reaction here. Barf action is on. There's a Barforama book called forest dump and I'm losing it.
Barf switch engaged.
I'm broke. Oh my. Super scary movie. It Wants No Chains. I've never heard of that.
Oh, I don't know. That sounds cool.
The thing that you had up a minute ago, the Vermis, the horror game manual,
Yeah, that was
a game that doesn't exist, sounds very interesting.
Oh yeah, I did a thing on that.
Oh, okay.
That's like my biggest video.
Oh, I was about to say, yeah, this sounds like something Virgil would like, and now I'm like, maybe that's because I've seen you.
Is that the one you sent to me, Virgil?
Oh, I don't know. Oh no, I sent you. I sent you 20, which it's relevant. I sent you this, which is like probably the best choose your own adventure thing I've ever played in my entire life.
Video game book. That's one of the first videos I saw from you, and I was like, I want that.
This is so cool, and it's totally in print. You can totally get it. You can get it right from who is it? Avery Hill Publishing. Sorry, I just think it's cool. It's like you should go get it because it's just awesome. It's like, and
my daughter and I really enjoyed it.
It's so much fun. It plays like it's like playing a video game, but you're always just reading a book. It's like it makes everything that you would do in like a point and click video game analog. It's like amazing. I couldn't believe my daughter was like, "Oh, you should check this book out." I was like, "This book is amazing." But I have Vermis too. I don't know where it's at.
I'm not gonna be able to pull this out, but yeah, I wish I had a hardback first edition copy of Rosemary's Baby.
Yes, there's the hardback ones. Vermis, the first one.
Let me make you bigger here.
It's a game guide. It's a video game guide for a video game doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Right. So, like all kind of art is awesome. Very Dark Souls inspired. If my fingernails are dirty, I work with my hands for a living. I do try to clean them, but it doesn't always work. And then this is the second book, which is a little bit more of a narrative than the first.
Show that book again, Virgil.
What's that?
Tim says, show that book again.
Which?
Oh, the 2021?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
2120. Amazon has it. It's George Weissall. Boy, I don't know if I can.
Where did I put mine? Because you sent me.
If I get it too close to my phone, my camera gets a little goofy.
Yeah, you sent me 3 of them, didn't you?
Well, I sent you his other 2 books as well. They're not the same. They're more like comics. It's really, really, really fun.
Yeah, you'll like it, Tim. It's a good time. I don't know where I put my copies.
I'm going to do a review for this, actually, but it's right here before me. I didn't intend to do this, but if that sounds interesting, you might want to check out Doom Pilgrim, which is a choose your own adventure in the form of a card game.
Oh, that's cool.
And this guy does all his own art. Sorry, this is like now I'm like selling something. This is all this guy's art, right? I think he's done like album covers and stuff. So it's all this art like this. Right? Ooh, too much shine. And but you just basically like pick a card and then there's a way you do it, and it has text on the back. And you do that, and you kind of it's kind of like a solo RPG, but there's very little bookkeeping and no dice rolling. Anyways, it's super cool. Played it with my kid, with my daughter and her friend. We're spending the night last night, and I was like, "Well, you guys want to play this?" And we played it for a while, and they had a good time. So,
yeah, I think those books might be in my daughter's room. I can't find them.
Yeah, 2120 is super fun.
It was wild. It's a good time.
And it gets real weird. It's like at first you're like, huh, and you're like flipping through the book, and you flip really fast. You're like back here, back there, back here, back there. It's cool.
Yeah, I need to get that one. It sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's lots of fun.
Spaceballs 2 is coming out.
What?
Spaceballs 2 is coming out. They're making it. It's happening. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the
and Rick Moranis is coming back.
Is he really?
Yep.
Ooh.
He's agreed to it.
That's cool.
The only reason I'm bringing this up is because Jake said, Pulp Mortem said, barf it up, barf bags, which is I assume he's quoting Spaceballs, but it's not barf it up. It's it's probably late for you, Sephiroth.
Yes.
Everybody, Sephiroth.
Later, sir.
I don't think you can drop a link in here. Where do people go to get your music? Are you on Bandcamp? Sephiroth makes really kick butt music.
Whips ass.
It does indeed.
About whips ass. 2 a.m. by seas of Rose. Yeah, but definitely drop a link or something. Sure. Well, we can do something with it.
Quest for more money.
I think that was in the first one when they were talking about the sequel.
Oh, was it? I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
Oh man, my buddy the other day was like, "Dude, we got to watch the stunt doubles joke because they're chasing him and they finally catch the bad guys finally catch the good guys and they're like, now you will see what the power of the dark side or something." And they turn around and like the princess is a guy in a dress with a big beard and then he's like, "You caught their stunt doubles."
Awesome.
I like that Virgil's still big.
That's it. This is my life now.
This is the Virgil show now.
He's the anchor, man. He anchors this show.
He does.
Right. Sure. What else do you guys look at? I'm big. I should use this opportunity to do something cool.
Nope, too late.
Oh, dang it. Well, here, this is relevant. Here's my Allosaurus that always accompanies me on all my recordings. This is always right underneath the screen, by the way.
That should be in the screen.
Yeah, but I don't have a way. It's CB so tiny. Yep, he's always right here underneath the screen. I don't know why. Just is.
What's up, Unstoppable? Thank you for dropping in, man.
Yeah, I got the pterodactyl you sent me sitting on my little bookshelf over there.
Thanks for
the video. I believe it still exists where I'm feeding, where I think I'm like talking to the Allosaurus and giving it licorice. I think it exists.
I've been enjoying your book hauls, Levi.
Yes.
Everybody go check out the Outlaw Levi Wallace. Is that the name of his channel?
Outlaw Levi Wallace.
Yeah, good stuff.
It's fun. Fun channel.
Super fun. All right, pin tomorrow. Is it tomorrow, Virgil?
It is tomorrow. I believe I set it for 3 Central. That's what I think it is, because that's what time look good. Unless somebody wants, I can make it earlier. Thank you. My wife got me this was a Father's Day present. The Herculoids.
Oh, that's cool.
What is the Herculoids?
You don't.
Yeah.
Oh,
is that a cartoon from our time?
I think it's a little earlier, but it was on Saturday mornings when I was a kid. So like probably reruns. It's probably more like Space Ghost original run era type stuff. Yeah. So like there was, I don't remember names. I think my wife bought me the DVD too, so we need to rewatch it. But yeah, essentially it's just like this
getting excited,
crazy. This is like this crazy, like weird sort of. I guess it's sort of like science fantasy, and like this family. It's kind of like a. I want to say there's like a Swiss Family Robinson sort of element. Like they're living on this planet, like these, like the main character whose name I don't remember, his wife and their son, and then there's like, again I don't remember the names, but there's like a rock ape. A laser dragon. The rhino shoots like pellets out of his horn. It's awesome.
Thundar.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Thundar is better. You're right.
So just during that description of you talking about your shirt, we lost 7 followers.
I'm sorry. I'll never talk about my shirt again.
Wait, what were we at? Did I beat Jake?
Yes.
No.
Why not?
No, I didn't come close. I know it. It's all good.
Yeah,
it's because he stifled us with his on their barf like topic.
I think
there.
we could have just gone barf crazy.
Yeah, that was the heat. He shouldn't have tamped our flame.
Well, that's probably why he did it. Maybe he wasn't really eating dinner.
That's right.
Maybe it was some kind of conspiracy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Herculoids and the original Johnny Quest are unbeatable.
I
remember Johnny Quest.
Yeah.
Nice chat. Second breakfast calls. Thanks for jumping in, Lawrence.
Take it easy.
Everybody's peacing out.
I know.
Get out of here, kid.
Maybe it's because it became too late on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. I think this is directed to you, Brian.
Yeah, I know. I can't beat Jake. It's okay. It's all good.
No, SWAT.
Yes. Love SWAT cats.
God, you guys are going to places I don't know. What is a SWAT cat?
You don't know SWAT cats? SWAT cats came a lot later. That was like these 2 cats that flew a fighter jet and fought like giant monsters.
That sounds made up.
It's not. but I mean, it is. The cats really can't fly jets, but in the cartoon.
I don't know what any of these are that you guys are talking about. I don't know.
Thundar is amazing. Yes, the live action Thundar would be very cool. Thundar is you've probably seen Thundar before with the laser sword. He's like, you've never, oh gosh. Well, you should go watch that. Like this is fun,
Thundercats.
a little bit of nostalgia, but like Thundar is legit, really good science fantasy and crazy. And Thundercats, yeah, Thundercats is also good.
I've never seen Thundercats either.
You never seen Thundercats?
I know of Thundercats at least, but I've never seen it.
Thundercats, Voltron, all that good stuff.
I don't know
Yeah,
Voltron.
I remember Voltron. I wanted Voltron for years. And I finally got it for Christmas, and my mom made me let my little cousin play with it, and he busted the leg.
God,
I'm
angry in retrospect for you.
The minute it was out of the box, but I have one now. I don't know where I put it.
Fair enough.
I have in a box. I have a box of Transformers and Voltrons that is just
oddly enough, we talk about Voltron a lot at work. And this one guy loves Voltron. He was watching Voltron the other day, and he was like, "What was he talking about?" He's like, "Man, Prince Lothar is always after the princess," and he's always talking about how Prince Lothar. He was like, "Oh, he was hot for that princess," and it cracks me the hell up whenever he starts talking about it.
Oh, that sounds a lot worse, Curtis.
Oh no, yeah, no. It's a lot more expensive.
I did have a busted ass Voltron for my youth, though. I had to buy it as an adult to get it all together. Oh my god,
that's awesome. Yeah, Thunder did have it all. I see the comment. Ookla the Mock, that's right.
Thundar production sketch art done by the great Jack Kirby.
Oh, that makes some sense. I never thought about that. That makes sense.
What is this button up here that says show comments on stage?
Dun, dun, dun. I have no idea.
I'm not going to push it.
We're learning live.
There's a stage.
I'll call Jake later. No way would kids today be allowed to watch Thundar, Brian. Just do a search for Thundar intro.
Yes.
That's all, yeah. I'm
just the intro is like amazing.
Apparently,
I'll look it up.
Isn't there like a barbarian cartoon movie that was Frank Frazetta did the drawings?
Fire and Ice.
Fire and Ice. I saw something about that. I've never seen that, and it looks incredible.
It's amazing. It's a rotoscope. So it's
rotoscope. Okay.
Yeah. But there's still a lot of genuine animation there, and the animation is really, really good.
It looked
it's good.
Incredible. I just saw a part where he was like talking to somebody in a graveyard or something, and it looked really cool.
Yeah, Tim, have you seen that?
Tim,
already
definitely in on that one.
like I know you don't even have to I don't have to ask. Like Tim's seen that movie.
I was like, if Tim hasn't seen that, that should be on his radar at least.
That's right. It's Ralph.
Yeah, Virgil and I were talking about like old animated films for a while because you said you were going to do a video.
Nick, I swear,
we were talking about doing something.
In my head, your face and your voice saying "Fire and Ice" is juicy.
I didn't even know Nick was still here.
Yeah, we were. I don't know if Chris and I were going to do it, but we could all do a thing where we talk about cartoons because you had some really. I actually did start watching a couple of the things that you had talked about. Brian. So it was pretty sweet.
Robotech was my jam when I was a kid.
I missed Robotech. I didn't get to see it.
Robotech.
And I never got to see Mask either. I really wanted to see Mask.
I watched Mask.
I had to go to Boy Scouts. I didn't even know if I really wanted to go because all we did was sit around and didn't do anything. But I missed out on Mask. And I had to go to PSR, and I didn't ever get to see Alf either, by the way. I had a lifetime gripe about not being able to see Alf when it was on.
You guys remember the show Small Wonder?
Yes.
Holy shit, that was a weird one.
It was so weird and super weird.
I have so much to look up now.
I know it didn't age well. It was cheesy.
It probably can't. It was a story about an AI robot little girl that moved in with this, like an android, I guess, that moves
like
in
dad
with
invented her or something. She had like a panel that opened up in her back.
Yeah. But we loved it when I was a kid. My cousin and I would watch that.
I watched it. I totally watched Small Wonder.
That's some Gen X shit right there.
You seen Fantastic Planet?
Oh yeah, and the soundtrack is incredible. I have it on DVD over here.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I really like the was it Gondahar, which originally I think in America was called like Isaac Asimov Presents Light Years or something.
Oh, I've never watched that.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, that's what they like originally called it, but I think it's actually Gondahar, and that is really like legitimately as an adult, it's really good. And there's another one whose Time Masters, which was French, and Mobius was part of that. Like did some of the design on it or something like that, and that's also really good.
Yeah, French production says Unstoppable.
Yeah, totally worth looking for and watching. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Unstoppable. I think this is you that started all this. You jumped in and turned the conversation.
Okay. I love talking about cartoons.
That's the way to do it, man. Now I feel like I need some 80s cartoons trivia.
I love that Goblin said Small Wonder is legendarily weird. It is. Like, it's weird, and I haven't seen it in years, and I can even say, like, oh, that was weird.
I can't imagine how it aged at all.
It would be so cringed. It's just like, oh, why do we watch this?
Yeah, Jack Yo just said something about an live action Indiana Jones ripoff, and I don't know what that is, but I'm so looking that up.
Who did?
I've heard of Tales of the Gold Monkey. I've heard of this before, and it's been on like a watch list. I'm like, I gotta find this at some point. I've heard good things about it. So right on. It's good to hear from somebody who's actually seen it. Sounds cool, very cool.
Right now.
Yeah, that'll be too hard to look up.
Oh, what are you trying to
look? To look up 80s trivia.
Oh, I see.
I was trying to find trivia now.
Well, that would get you a whole lot.
I love trivia. I do. Adaptation. Oops.
So you thought this was literally Liminal, but it's actually Captain Infinity Time Police ad.
Right.
Upcoming material.
Adaptations always change canon. That's why I'm writing my own transmedia material. I'll go into different. That's smart. I get FOMO from being a Gen Z.
What is?
Oh,
what is
fear? Yeah, he's missing out on. Yeah, I think that happened with the millennials too. I think that for some odd reason, like I always, the boomers aren't as nostalgic as Gen X are. I don't think. I think we really Gen X is where like the generation that got really nostalgic. My brother worked for the Apple store for a little while, and he said there was a kid that came in and just used a computer and looked up synopsis of all the A-Team episodes. Didn't watch them, just looked them up. Probably because he wanted to be able to, I don't know, understand the reference and referential humor. Like when I was a kid, there wasn't a lot of that, and it blew up.
Oh yeah,
really big. And I think it's Gen X. I think it's us. I think we were all really obsessed, and
Family Guy is just. It got to the point where it wasn't even jokes. It was just like, do you understand this reference?
Yeah,
do you understand this reference?
And apparently, and I've never read it, but Ready Player One is just referencing
big old nostalgia fest.
Yeah,
I read
my wife's read that for sure. I have not read it, but yeah, I've heard the same thing.
It's good.
And it's weird.
I've heard good things about it.
I think some Gen Zers are latching on to the nostalgia, and some are like my kid. I tried to show her Robotech, and within 15 minutes, she was like, "This is dumb, and I don't care." And I was like, "Okay," but she loves Pink Floyd and a lot of the music. It just depends on what it is. You know what I mean? It's really, I just don't know if Gen Z is going to be as nostalgic, because I think the millennials are really nostalgic too.
Towards the 90s, absolutely.
Yeah, you guys are doing your Goosebumps thing now, and
VHS tapes and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
It's big for sure these days.
Yeah. Bashki's version of Lord of the Rings is crazy as well. Yeah. You know what I remember most about that? Don't they have isn't there a song in that's where there's a whip, there's a way?
You're thinking of the other one, the Lord of the Rings animated movie.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's Return of the King is what the animated version is called.
That's also the one that's Frodo of the Nine Fingers and the Ring of Doom. Yep. Remember that song?
Mm-hmm.
No.
The Bashki version is Rotoscope.
That's a good point. Boomers were nostalgic for the 1950s, Happy Days, American Graffiti. But I never felt like my parents were like, you need to go watch Happy Days. Like they didn't give a crap what I watched on TV. Like I never felt like
they didn't care what you like, whatever.
Except for maybe politically, I never feel like they tried to force me to like what they liked.
and they didn't like what we liked either. It's like, my parents would never. Nobody's parents watched cartoons with them or like kid shows. Like it was only for kids. Like parents would be like, oh,
right,
and they'd leave.
Yeah, yeah, and I'll sit and watch anime with my kid. She loves it. You know what I mean?
Which is how it was. That's how I remember it.
You want to know some weird, Chris Liminal Spaces trivia?
Okay. Weird.
So you remember Nick at Night, Virgil?
Mm-hmm.
Brian, do you as well? So when I was like in the early 90s, late 80s, they would play all kinds of like stuff boomers would be nostalgic for. And one of them was Mr. Ed.
Oh, yeah.
And I can do the entire theme song. Both
of course, unless, of course, the horse is Mr. Ed. I don't know.
Yeah, a horse is a horse, of course, and nobody can talk to a horse, of course, unless, of course,
the horse.
Of course, and nobody can talk to a horse, of course, unless, of course, the famous Mr. Ed. Now I can't do it. But the second, can you guys do the second verse?
I cannot.
Go right to the horse and ask. No, go right to the source and ask the horse. He'll give you the answer that you endorse. He's always on a steady course. Talk to Mr. Ed.
Now here you go. Here's some trivia on trivia. The guy who owns Mr. Ed, the main character, I can't remember his name. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The guy who what?
The horse is Mr. Ed, but then there's the guy who owns Mr. Ed.
I forgot his name too. I can do the whole opening, but I can't tell you the guy's name.
So that guy is the voice of Scrooge McDuck in DuckTales.
Oh, wow.
Go back and listen to his voice. You'll be like, oh my God, that's that happened to me. I was talking to my kids, like, what's Mr. Ed? I'm like, I just play it. And then he talked, and I'm like, that's Scrooge McDuck.
Wow.
It blew my mind for like one whole day. I was just like,
Captain USA.
I do remember Captain USA. He did kind of like an Elvira sort of thing. He would like smoke a cigar. He kind of dressed like Captain America. You know, he had like a big mustache.
Wait, where does Elvira come into this? What?
Because he would show horror movies.
Oh,
he would do like horror movie. He would like host the movies, but it was on the USA channel. I remember that from satellite.
Oh, Jackio, I think you might be right. Because the horse would go Wilbur.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
that's right,
yeah.
Wilbur.
Yeah.
Right. There you go.
Okay, that was just a Gen X.
Oh yeah, I remember Captain USA. Well.
Oh my God.
I don't remember Captain USA. There were a lot of horror movie hosts though back in the day.
Yeah, I remember Elvira. I remember Vincent Price.
Zachary.
I don't remember that.
He's one.
There's a guy who's still doing it right now.
Bob Drive-In or whatever. That's a recent.
Yeah, Joe Bob for sure.
Yeah.
There was one like a local Ohio guy. I can't remember his name.
Also, Mystery Science Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Gen X, Mystery Science Theater. Loved that. Another thing I can't get my daughter into.
You know what's funny you bring that up? I remember when that first started and it would come on to like, I don't remember was it on the Science Fiction Channel or Sci-Fi Channel?
Yeah.
But I remember I would go to my grandparents' house and they had cable and we'd put that on and my grandpa would be like, oh, they just ruined the movie. And he'd get up and leave. He couldn't take it.
He couldn't take it, huh?
Hated it.
Dr.
Creep. That might be the Ohio one Nick's talking about.
What was the Big Barbarian one? Manos, the Hands of Fate. Not that one. That's 4. No, the the woman wears a hubcap and they make fun of the hubcap. Cave Dwellers. Ator, the Barbarian.
Oh, Ator, yeah.
Yeah.
Something is Ator. Or Ator,
is that the one where it's like it's like he fights? Is that the movie where he fights dinosaurs?
No.
Or no, okay.
No.
I don't know. This is a host, or maybe I missed that.
It's on the MST3K.
I'm thinking about MST3K.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
I went a different direction than everybody else.
I was thinking of the movie Your.
I'm drowning in my own.
Your Hunter of the Future.
Yes. What's funny is that so like we had satellite before it scrambled, and so my dad recorded tons of movies on these like we were talking about how you get like 3 movies on a VHS, and he had a huge list, and one of them was Your, and I can't remember what else was on that tape. But a friend was like, "Oh, I really want to watch this movie." I'm like, "Oh, I got a copy of it. I'll bring it in," and I gave it to him. And he watched it and he's like, he came and gave it back. He goes, "You know what's after this?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "You're." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's right." He goes, "That's the best movie I've ever seen." He's like, "That movie was amazing." He was like laughing and he thought it was great, but like I just remember it.
Yes, Goblin knows Ator. Okay, good.
Awesome.
So apparently the soundtrack is better than the film for Your, says Unstoppable.
Yeah, it's super crazy. I think he's obviously wearing a wig, if I remember right. It's been a long time. I'm not a Your aficionado, but you know, my favorite movie that reminds me of is the movie with Ringo Starr, Caveman.
Yes, I just watched that recently.
I love that movie.
It's definitely a movie of its time, and I laughed. I just remember doo-doo caca shit.
And was it Dennis Quaid also? I think.
I don't know.
I think it's Dennis Quaid. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Dennis Quaid.
You're on Blu-ray. Yeah,
Joe,
right on.
We are still on, but it's just nonsense now.
It's nonsense.
It's just we're talking about cartoons and movies.
Did you expect anything more from having me on as a guest?
Right.
I was trying to keep us horror, but it didn't work.
We keep meandering. Yeah,
that's the point of these things. That's
whatever.
Yeah, that's how you end up with Stephen King and the Minecraft movie.
That's right.
Yeah, I've never seen. I'm not familiar with that.
I think I saw it years ago, and I don't remember it very well. I had a phase there when I was 13 where I watched everything. And
it'd be a movie you'd want to watch and laugh at somebody. Life of Brian.
Life of Brian. And he spelled it right.
It's spelled, yeah.
A teenager called Brian. I love that movie. That is a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another one that I don't hear people like there was a kid in my high school in like 1991 that found the script to Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I don't know if it was online. I don't know if online was even a thing then, but he printed it and brought it to school, and he was so proud because he had the script for Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It was huge in the early 90s.
Yes, it was.
Oh my God. He has a wife, you know. Let's see. I do get the vibes that Chris and company are old school D&D players. That's a good thing. We are indeed. In fact, my kid's not here. My daughter just got the coolest thing I've ever seen. She got a pocket watch, like with a chain that, goes in a vest pocket, but she popped it open and it's full of dice. It's got there's no clock in there. It's just dice. It's the coolest thing ever.
It's always D&D time.
Yeah, D&D is a great time. I loved D&D. Oh, yeah. You know what's crazy though, and this is something Virgil and I talked about randomly in our chattings. I played Legend of the Five Rings more than I did D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we all loved the Japanese world of Legend of the Five Rings, and if you look at the setup of Legends of the Five Rings and Game of Thrones, they're eerily similar.
You told me that, and I didn't realize. I was like, "Oh, that's crazy."
So much so that like people are like, "Okay, which one came first?" And they're like within months of each other.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's literally a wall that I think it's in the south in L5R that's protecting from these crazy zombie lands, the Shadowlands they're called, and like there's different clans that all have different political jobs, and yeah, it's crazy.
It is. It's awesome.
When Darkness Loves was crazy, and the second story very sad. Yeah, Joe.
Coming soon.
It is coming soon. I'm going to talk. So I talked about the first story on my channel, which is why I think Joe grabbed it. I just finished the second story this morning, Joe. And the ending is complicated, and I'm excited to talk about it. And I think Virgil and I are going to talk about it, and maybe Brian, if he listens to it on Audible before next week.
I don't know if that'll happen, but maybe.
Yeah. Might not, could, but yeah, I'm going to talk about the second one on the Secret Society Red channel, which will be Virgil's channel. So make sure you're subscribed to Virgil so you can get all of that content as well. But yeah, you're right. It was It was very sad.
Yeah, it was.
He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. Is it the biggest, dickest one? Yes, that is Life of Brian. I have a Holy Grail DVD that comes with a script and the little companion book, I'm sure. Anybody here ever play Gamma World?
I have played a bit of Gamma World. It's been a long time, but we do play. I have played with the kids.
Yes.
I have played with the kids. We've played whatever the DCC version of it is. I can't remember what it's called offhand, which is just a similar version. We've played some of that too. Mutant something. I can't remember.
Mutant Chronicles?
No, there is an RPG for that though, but it's not.
No, there's a board game for that is like Jason's favorite game on the planet. Like he could make a
really?
6-hour YouTube video about Mutant Chronicles.
I need to hang out with Jason. Needs to come on over.
You should see
bring it over.
You should see his board game collection. It's insane.
Yeah, we haven't done decent. I love board games too. We've got a bunch.
Yeah. Let's see. More RuneQuest and COC here. What's COC?
Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, that makes sense.
RuneQuest is amazing. It's like some of the best game lore ever.
I played a little bit of Call of Cthulhu, and but it was like a card game / RPG.
And I haven't played like any of this. I feel like I can't keep up.
Like the collectible card game. You play kind of like where you have a deck that you pull from.
Kind of, but you end up in a special location and you lay out cards that are a map of the location, like you go into the university.
I think you're talking about the same. I think we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah,
I've had that. My daughter and I recently got into that, although I don't remember specifically what that one's called.
It's expensive and fun.
It is. Specifically, we're talking about the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game, which is really, 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 really good, and probably is partly the reason that we talk about H.P. Lovecraft. I think it's pretty influential. Like I think it kept that in the public consciousness for a long time.
I agree. There was a boom that I remember. I remember reading Lovecraft in the early 90s, and nobody at my school gave a shit.
Yeah, no one talked about it. I mean, there were people who read it, but not many. But then my friends and I found Call of Cthulhu, and we're like, this game is amazing.
It was 2000 that people started talking about Cthulhu.
Yeah.
What is Dungeon Crawl Classic?
That's the Goodman Games version. That's the fantasy version of like it's kind of like another version of Dungeons and Dragons, right? It has even weirder dice.
Yeah,
that's our stick. Yeah, those guys are awesome.
This is true. Monty Python did not have enough money for Life of Brian, so a friend gave him the money. It was George Harrison. Also, I think David Gilmour gave money as well from Floyd.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah. D&D throughout the 80s until the Marvel version came out. Then we played that for into the 90s.
Yeah, Marvel was good too. I had that. I think I ordered that from the local comic book store, and I think I called them every week and asked if it was in until they're like, "It's not here. We'll call you, okay?"
You're the man, Jake. I hope we didn't ruin your dinner.
Easy, bud.
That was the silliest war of
really
bad taste ever. Bad taste book.
Look at that. It's perfect.
I hope someone sends me those books. I'll read them and review them, I promise.
Which books?
The Barfarama books.
Oh, Barfarama. Yeah. If you guys have Barfarama, just is your email
about the condition.
You guys both list your email on your channel, right?
Mine's on my channel.
Good.
Mine's on mine.
Pretty good.
I
hate when I go to a channel and their email's not there. That drives me nuts.
It's Mutant Crawl Classics. Thank you very much. Oh yes, TMNT.
What's that?
Oh yeah,
Mutant Ninja
Turtles RPG.
Yeah.
Oh man, we played the hell out of that.
Dark Tower.
You want to play a giant skunk ninja? You can.
What is Dark Tower? Was my board game jam? I don't know.
Yeah, there was a board game called Dark Tower that was like a little. It actually had like a computer in it, so it would like you set up the board and then you would, I think you would move and then press a button and then the tower would like say what happens or something. I didn't own it, but they recently re-released it, like a nostalgic version. They kind of made a similar product and re-released it for sale. But yeah, it's a very sought after, really good old school board game that has like some electronic stuff in it too.
Did you guys ever play like Atmosphere? The VHS game?
Yes, a friend of mine had that, and he was like, "You want to play Atmosphere?" I'm like, "Okay."
That's so collectible now.
Oh, he had it. He's got so much collectible stuff, though. I think he had all of the original Thundercats still in their packaging.
Oh, wow.
Arkham Horror. That's exactly what it was called.
Yep.
You're right.
Yep. Yeah. And we've been, my oldest daughter and I have been playing it, and we really have enjoyed it. It's really good. It can be expensive, but it's fun.
I was more of an arcade kid, Defender, Tempest, than Dune 2000. Your Harvester is under attack.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
I played a lot of Dune 2000.
There was an old Dune board game too that's pretty collectible now.
Yeah, I think my brother might have a copy.
Nice. I have a new version of, but yeah, the old one is very collectible.
Yeah.
And Jason even gets into those bookshelf games, where they look like a book. You pull them out of the box. He has a ton.
I've got the one where it's like knights. It kind of looks like chess, and it's weird, but you have like weird moves. GURPS. I have a whole shelf. GURPS. I have a whole shelf like this of GURPS.
Dark Tower commercial had Orson Welles in it.
Oh, that's funny.
Right.
I still have my Atmosphere.
Ooh, nice.
VHS and everything.
That's probably worth some money.
Oh yeah, that's
Dang
awesome.
It. We caught up with the chat. I did not expect to talk about board games.
Virgil seems like the expert here. I'm going to admit something. I've never played D&D.
Oh, really?
We should play sometime.
Fun. I think you'd like it.
I would love to play. I've been invited to 2 different groups, but it was on nights I couldn't do it, and I've just never. It's never happened. I would love to play.
Virgil.
Yeah, because my kids can't.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, because I was starved for somebody to play with for a long time. So I started with my son. I was like, all right, we're going to play a game. Here, you're going to go in the dungeon and fight these goblins.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, and he got really into it. He really enjoyed it. And the only one who doesn't like it as much is my middle daughter. She's not as excited about it, but the rest of them all generally.
All right, here's a question for the chat.
That's right. Feudal is correct. I do.
If can you guess what type of D&D character I play every time, and how about Virgil, and what do you think Brian would play?
It's gonna be tough for me because I don't get to play as much, but you can
you're the GM.
I do get to play sometimes, so you can still guess. I'm cool with that. Chris, this is for the chat. I'm getting a guess. This is are we talking about like AD&D or D&D? Are elves the class?
They all said elf in the wizard.
Wizard for Chris. I'm wondering if you're playing barbarians.
Virgil knows me the best out of everybody.
I don't know why. I just gotta get a feel.
You would think that I'd be like, I want to play the. I did play a druid in the most recent campaign I did. So yeah, all right, druid kind of wins. But no, I don't. I don't play wizards. I don't. It's too damn complicated. I want to run up and hit stuff. A psychologist would say that we try to be the opposite of ourselves when we make characters. Oh, Tim, I enjoyed playing the druid. I got to turn into a bear. It was fun. Is that the right thing? Am I thinking of the right thing? Did I play a druid? Druids turn into bears in the new one, right?
Druid, yep.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you should.
Doesn't like it. Doesn't like D&D.
Virgil said, Curtis doesn't like D&D. It bored him.
It depends. You know what? And I will say this: your experience with D&D depends a lot on who runs the game. Because I've played where it's been like, one of the guys I used to play with, it was probably the best DM I've ever seen. Like, it would be anything. He'd be like, "You guys want to play?" I'd be like, "Okay." He's like, "Okay," and then you'll be done. You'll be like, "That was probably the best game of D&D I've played in my entire life," and you just came up with that right, like within 5 minutes preparation.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You want to come back next week?" I'm like, "Okay."
It depends on the GM. It really does, or it just might not be for you.
That's true. It depends
stuff like that. Sorry,
no, that's fine.
That sounds so fun to me. I love just like being the one that runs out, because that's not who I would be in real life at all. So
my son is who plays a lot. He always wants to play a wizard. He's always about the wizard. And he's always trying to do something real skeevy with his magic. He's always like, "Well, can I cast this spell and then do this?" And I'm like, "There's no, that's not how that works." He's like, "Well, what do you think?" I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens." He's always trying to do something that it's not supposed to work. And he's
right.
But I'm always like, "Okay, you're being super creative. Okay, we'll do it."
Constance, there's the character building aspect of it can get a little overwhelming But once the character is done and you just have the 4 boxes you need and the dice to roll, a good GM makes it very, very simple.
A good game should not be about rolling the dice. It should be about, it's more like a conversation. You know, it's like you want to do something, like the most fun part is never rolling dice. It's always like, hey, there's this thing, like, how are we going to break into this guy's house and steal this gem that he's got? And it's like, that's literally been adventures that we've had. And it's like, you'll spend an hour talking about how to break into this guy's house. And he's got these guards. And well, what are we going to do with this? So much fun. So much fun.
So I think people said elf for you as well, Virgil. What would you play if you were making a character?
My favorite character class is an AD&D class is the Cavalier. I always like that. It was sort of like a knight, but not as aligned as the Paladin. Like the Paladin had the lawful good restrictions, so you had to be super strict. I like Paladins too, but I always like the which is more just like a medieval knight. So I always thought that was kind of fun.
Is Ravenloft a D&D thing?
Ravenloft.
I found a Ravenloft book the other day.
It's probably perfect for it. It's the most horror of all the.
It's gothic horror D&D.
We made Brian get up.
Yeah, Ravenloft is fun. Ravenloft is cool.
What was the vampire's name? Strahd.
Yeah,
Strahd. Good.
Yeah.
Some of those good. I don't know anything about them.
I've wanted them every time, but I never find them. So I found one and picked it up the other day.
I don't know if they're any good or not, but they're probably worth.
I had a bunch of omnibuses that it was like a bookshelf of Ravenloft, but I gave them to Jason.
Apparently they're worth kind of a lot.
That's interesting. God, I would watch a game if that's possible. I would be a little nervous playing D&D.
I would feel a little strange. It would take a little getting used to. I think it can be a lot of fun. I think it'd be fun, but it's a definite change.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that. It's like
I never got into the spellcasting classes, but my son is obsessed with them. You know, but I always liked like the fighters. So
Brian, if I was just like right now, and I know you don't know all the things, what would you play?
The 4 basic classes, right? There's
tell me
a fighter, a cleric, which is just like kind of like a
healer,
a fighter that also has healing magic, but not quite as good as a fighter. A wizard or a thief, rogue, depending on your genre. I like thief better.
I mean, from those initial things, I'd say wizard because it sounds the most fun.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Usually the people get really into D&D play wizards. Like the people who get super obsessed like love wizards usually because you can do, especially old magic, it does weird stuff. You can break rules basically. So anyway, but I always like thieves too as well, which seems like a weird combination, but maybe it's because I always like those.
Thieves are fun. Thieves are fun.
I always like those Thieves World covers. Remember the old Thieves World books?
Mm-hmm.
Love those covers. Yeah, the thief is backstab. Of course, you have like you're just a glass. You're not even a glass. You're kind of like a glass cannon. It's a thief, right? It's really easy to die. You don't have a lot of power.
Constance says, I will Google it. You guys just keep having fun. I have seen snippets on Big Bang Theory.
You know what? Big Bang Theory does not represent it right. Because I think I saw it one time and they're like, we're playing D&D. I'm like, that's not D&D. That's Talisman. Like they were playing Talisman, the board game.
I remember Talisman. I have a copy.
Yeah, me too. Played a ton of Talisman.
My daughter loved it when she was younger. Yeah.
It's so good because it seems like you don't really make choices. You just draw a card and roll a die.
Tau Zero.
I want to come to y'all's house. Sounds fun.
Tau Zero. It got just super nerdy in here. This is not where I expected any of this to go, but here we are. We're talking about D&D and old cartoons.
I like.
How are you doing?
And barf.
Noobs.
I like Tim's comment.
Fighters.
Well, so what's the take on clerics then?
Noobs play fighters, nerds play wizards, edgelords play rogues. So I play barbarian. What is that?
That's I think you were talking basic classes. I don't know. I always like the fighter though. I always think it's fun.
Yeah, I guess the fighters the barbarian just to.
At least, well, once you get later into the game, yeah, wizards can do stuff. But at the beginning, it's like you have a spell, and like, well, I guess I'll just hang out in the back.
Death Knight and World of Warcraft are great. Basically, necromancy paladins.
See, I'm a nerd. I spent my nerd time playing Magic the Gathering.
You would like?
I mean, I still play with my brother on the new video game version of Magic the Gathering.
Oh, like the phone.
No, well, I guess it's on the phone. I played on the computer, but what's it called? Magic the Gathering Arena.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have that.
Where you
It's
don't
fun.
have to shuffle the cards; you just
Mhm.
play. I love it.
And you don't have to pay for expensive cards.
Yeah, if you look back on my channel, there's a couple of videos where Jason had a Magic the Gathering card game channel before.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he had a YouTube channel before we made this channel, and it was a Magic the Gathering channel. And awesome. You can find it and see a really young Jason. But now he plays Arena. He stopped buying actual cards, but he still loves Arena.
Yeah, it's fun.
Biker Mice from Mars. I
remember that cartoon.
Oh yeah, Virgil does.
I remember that cartoon. I want to ask Tim because I see him talking. He says about clerics. Tim, do you know about Lamentations of the Flame Princess? Let's see if he does. I have a feeling he will, but he might not. If he doesn't, he's gonna get his mind blown.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, the Appendix N stuff would be cool. It'd be neat. I think Tim's doing some of that. So
I don't know any of that, Joe.
I'm sorry. I'm so outside of the realm of sports. I just don't know.
I skipped the Oilers game to come here. Thank you, Tau Zero.
What a Canadian sentence.
Someday I intend to read the books in Gary Gygax's Appendix N. I've already read quite a few unknowingly. Yeah, a lot of fantasy booktubers I was about to get up to, but now I won't.
Check out Secret Fire Books channel.
Yeah, Tim talks a lot about it, doesn't he? About the appendix, yeah. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Holy shit, there's a D&D channel with people playing. Cast of Baldar something.
I'm not surprised at all that there's like streaming, D&D games.
Yeah. I am played Magic the Gathering with my this weekend with my Pauper Flame Rift deck. Killed everyone. I don't know Magic the Gathering well enough, but if Jason were here, this conversation would just go down. I made a this is an inappropriate name for a deck. I made a green deck that I call the Big Fuckers.
That's what it is, though. That's
green. It was just a way. It's mono green. It was just a way to sneak in. I found all these workarounds where I could just have like thorn mammoths and stuff suddenly on the. This is the nerdiest.
Thorn elemental.
Oh yeah. So I have to hold this back a little bit because there's a little bit of nudity, but this is Lamentations of the Flame Princess, like the old box set. It's like old school D&D, but with like heavily influenced by horror and like death metal.
Ooh.
So I don't know how much I could show. I think it's like some of the artwork is pretty extreme.
That sounds like something Tim would really like.
It is super cool stuff. I don't think you can get this stuff this particular edition anymore. And then I've got his Blood, Fire, Death like adventure collection.
Dude, I played so much Yu-Gi-Oh, Tim. Sorry, continue.
Anyway, but this is just cool because I haven't shown this off in a long time. But yeah, it's all these really cool like adventures. I don't know how much of this art I can show because it gets pretty extreme. And he used to do, the guy who put this on would do like these freebies. Like have you ever heard of Free RPG Day? Ever heard of that? Like whether you go to an RPG gaming shop, they give you like free like sampler. Yep. Dark Souls isn't dark enough. Like it's dark. It's like think more like I don't want to say Cannibal Corpse, but like think about like death metal.
Yeah, Joe, I'm the same. Like Pokemon, I remember when it came out, and I was just too old for it. My kid loves it, so now I feel pretty versed. I think there was actually a Pikachu on my channel once because my daughter left her Pikachu on my chair. So there's a video that starts with my chair with Pikachu in it, and I walk over and grab Pikachu and huck Pikachu and sit down. But yeah, that was my kids that got me into that.
Yeah.
So no.
I've never played Pokemon. My kids love it.
I have to turn on the lights. It's getting dark.
There's some good stuff. He would give away these free things on Free RPG Day that were like I can't show it on TV. I can't show it on here, but they were super cool. And I got a couple of those. He did one called Slugs. He did one called Eldritch Eldritch Cock. I can't show you that. And then there's another one called, well, I'm not going to say, but there's a few. There's one I didn't get. I wish I had gotten one. I couldn't get it, but there's some of them that's really cool.
Heck yeah, Constance.
Not that you know what's weird though is not that I'm super into all this stuff, but I just thought I just think it's really neat and they're super creative. He did one, like the whole. Sorry to keep talking about it, but he did one adventure that kind of got him famous called Death Frost Doom. That's like just like it. Like when it came out, people were so mad at him for making this adventure, and which I really can't talk about, but because it would spoil it. But it's super good.
I feel like if there's any show where we could beat the audience, this one right here would be the one. But I'm not going to try that again.
So Mork Bork is probably a lot more sanitized than Lamentation is. You could say that's like mainstream, and this would be like the more esoteric stuff, like the little that goes a little deeper and does like super neat stuff. Just like the sample adventure in the old box that was so damn good. I don't know if I should give it away. There was a thing like where you and your characters fight a bunch of doppelgangers, and after the fight's over, you don't know if your character is real anymore or if it's a doppelganger. Or if it's like you got replaced.
When you guys have Tim on here one day, it's just going to be.
We'll just talk.
It's just going to be this the entire time.
You don't realize like how many RPG books I have. There's like all the bottoms of all these shelves are RPG books. I have too much.
That's awesome.
So anyway, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do something
about that stuff.
Yeah, it's neat. You know, I don't not that you need all of it, but I just think it's fun. And not that I obviously don't play games like this with the kids. Right? They're not super interested in it anyways. Although you could sanitize it and still play, it'd still be really cool. But yeah, it was just fun. It was just like I want to play these games, and then we started playing it, and then they were like, okay. And we would stay. There were many times where it was like summer, and we would start playing at like 8:00, and it would be like 4:00 before people went to bed, you know, or something like that. Or my son would be like, "Oh, I really want to get that like a skeleton guy is walking around. We got to get him."
I can't remember the name of the band, but there's this album that came out a few years ago that's like a metal band. I think it's like black metal or something. But they wrote a game book to go with the album, like a fully playable RPG game book that is like a companion to the album.
What was the Guar, the lead singer for Guar? I think he passed away, but before he passed away, he wrote an adventure for that Lamentations, and I have it. Actually, I have an extra copy because so I have an extra copy because like they sent me one and then they sent it to me again. I'm like, hey, you made a mistake. He's like, because the guy's in like Sweden or Finland or something. He's like,
the Guar people?
No, the guy who made the game.
Oh, I was
so like that guy wrote it, but it got produced under the Lamentations like printing company or whatever. And then that I got sent that, but then he sent me an extra copy by mistake. And I'm like, you want me to send this back? He's like, no. It's like, dude, it's too expensive. Just keep it.
Nice.
I'm like, okay. So I still have it. I just don't know, or did I give it to I have a friend who listened to Guar, and I was like, I don't know if I gave it to him or not.
I got invited to the Mission Impossible movie while I walked out into my front room, and I thought, well, I could just go do that, and you guys would just be stuck.
Like I'm on Tim's channel. We can't get out of the live stream. All right, so I'm just going to keep talking about tabletop gaming if you let me, because you don't want me to do that because I could just talk for a very long time about it.
You guys keep up with any of the comments at all?
I can't click on it, so I didn't want to get too far into it.
I haven't had an answer.
Well, I like this statement.
Horror sitcoms. Huh.
Yeah, of course they're a thing. They're totally a thing.
Like what?
Like Haunting of Hill House, like Dark Mass or whatever.
Oh.
Fall of the House of Usher. Like it's become a huge American horror show.
We call those sitcoms though?
Oh, sitcoms.
Situational comedy.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Those are situational.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a. What do you mean by sitcom, Lovecraft?
I guess like what was that? What We Do in the Dark or whatever.
Oh my God, What We Do in the Shadows is fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would make sense. Okay.
Blind Guardian did a concept album based on the Silmarillion.
Oh, nice.
The 2010s were a wild time. The 2010s, I was like, I got to get my shit together. That was like, that was what I was doing in the 2010s, was getting my shit together.
Together.
Oh, Tau Zero is the one that mentioned horror sitcoms. Let me go see if I can find this.
Oh, he was in a horror sitcom, he says.
Oh, wasn't the lead singer of Gwar in a horror sitcom?
I don't know.
It's a great question, and I don't know the answer to that.
I do know that there's a bar in Richmond where they're from called Gwar Bar that they own.
Yeah. Now, that is interesting. David Brock is Hawkwind. That I knew. I love Hawkwind. I didn't know that Dave Brocky is Gwar. That's interesting.
Either they're moving a bunch of furniture upstairs, or that's thunder.
Ooh,
I don't know which one. I'm closed in. Or Creepy Baby is on the loose.
It could be Creepy Baby.
There's always the option of Creepy Baby.
It could be Creepy Baby. Everybody that's on here now, please go watch Pin tomorrow. It'll be fun.
Yes,
okay, wait, Virgil. So are you putting that up at the time?
It's scheduled for 3 Central. 3 p.m. Central Time. Sorry.
What time is that?
So 4 o'clock real time.
It's what?
4 o'clock. 3 o'clock Central. Let me make sure that's what I got it scheduled for.
I think you should do it closer to noon.
I can move it to 2. I can move it to noon. I was just looking at my little numbers, but hey, we can do whatever. I can do whatever I want.
So Tau Zero, we talk about so we got 2 videos coming up. The first one, we talk about the book. We do a very strong, deep reading of the book. And then the second video coming up is the movie Pin. So we're going to
put it up right now.
Both. Don't put it up right now.
I'm joking. Joking. I'll do it right now. If you're talking. What time you want to do it? I said it for 3 Central, but I can change that.
I would do. So what is 12 my time?
Well, that would mean there'd be 1 my time, right? Because it gets late. Because what time is it now for you?
I post right now. It is 8 and 4 minutes.
Oh, so you're behind. Yeah. So wait a minute. Am I backwards? See, time zones always mess with me.
This
is
8
your time. So 12. That makes it 11 my time then.
You get to watch us try to figure out time zones.
No, that's not right. That's backwards. Only 1. I think I'm right.
I think it's
9 o'clock. Yeah, that's right. I was right. 1 o'clock. That's right. Shouldn't doubt myself. You want to do 1 o'clock? I don't care. I'll do 1 a.m.
I think actually what I want you to do is 11 o'clock my time.
11 o'clock your time.
Noon my time.
Noon, yeah.
Okay, do it at noon.
Noon it is. Changing right now. If you thought that you're going to see, you get 3 hours early because of Chris.
Yeah.
Pin is great Canadian horror. That's true, Tau Zero. I read when I was researching the movie that it is a Canadian production. Absolutely.
Right. Goosebumps, the TV show, is also a Canadian production.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is why I grew up hearing that accent and thinking, man, these kids talk cool.
Yeah, what's that all about?
And now I love what's that all about?
That's it. That's all my Canadian accent. I'm glad Richard's not here. He'll be mad at me. I'm in New Zealand. Don't even.
Everything I know about Canada.
Yeah, Area 51 time. Oh, can we talk about that?
Talk about what?
Aliens. You live in alien land.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not in my state, but yeah.
Close enough.
But Roswell is.
Roswell is, yeah.
Yeah. Roswell is, yeah. I go to Roswell often because anytime somebody comes down to see New Mexico.
Oh, 100%. That's where I want to go. I've been to New Mexico. I didn't get to go to Roswell. And
why?
Why what?
So if you come to New Mexico, there's 2 places I would take you. Well, 3 really. Carlsbad Caverns, which is
I would love to go there.
The greatest cave system you will ever see in your life.
I love caves. I have a bit of a cave fetish.
Then Carlsbad would blow your mind. It's incredible. And then Roswell, you have to do. It's kitschy. It's a great time.
I would love to. I love aliens.
And then White Sands is really.
I didn't go there either. I've been to Santa Fe.
Yeah, Santa Fe is where everybody goes, and Santa Fe is cool if you're just like, I don't know anything about this area at all, and I mean it's kind of it's a cool place, but it's the one place that most people that live here are like, don't go to Santa Fe. So yeah, but yeah, if you ever want to come down, I'll show you Carlsbad, White Sands, and Roswell.
Well, nice. Just you may not know this, but they do say that Missouri is the cave state. Just
really?
Yeah, they call it the cave state.
because of Mammoth, but that's mostly in. I thought that was mostly Kentucky, though, right?
Well, nope, Missouri.
I think Carlsbad would take any cave you got.
Who knows? We have Meerkat Caverns.
Oh damn! I thought
Mammoth is, I think, the largest cave.
Excited about cave.
Yeah, I don't know its size. And then we have the
yeah. That's what I was hoping would happen.
Cave fight.
I was trying to get going on. Yes, the UFO. Last time I was there, the UFO McDonald's was still there.
That's awesome. And then also, I was just thinking about, like, remember how crazy alien stuff was in the 90s? Like, aliens were way scarier than ghosts when I was younger. Like, and then it was like, I was way more concerned about, like, aliens coming and grabbing you when you were asleep. It was like, this is freaky.
When you ask some of my favorite horror stuff, I think for a long time, scary aliens were big for me.
It was just everywhere. There was like the alien autopsy thing that was going on.
Bruce Coville wrote all those kids' alien books.
What's the big one that like they made a movie of? Communion.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
By the same guy that wrote The Hunger, right?
I don't know.
Whitley Strieber.
Yes, Whitley Strieber. Did he write The Hunger? Okay, I'm gonna get.
I don't know if he wrote The Hunger, but he did write Communion, and it's apparently based off of his real abduction story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote a couple of great books, but he's most known for Communion. But he wrote the Hunger, which of course was made into a movie with Susan Sarandon and David Bowie.
I read one book by him, The Night Church, and it was wildly boring.
Yeah, I've heard this one.
That's a combination of words I wasn't expecting.
I've heard this is absolutely terrible.
It was.
Yeah, but I think
absolutely terrible.
I think this will be coming up on a future Secret Society read. I'll pick this eventually.
Very cool.
But he also wrote the Wolfen.
The Wolfen. I do want to read that.
Yeah.
I want to read Communion. I want to hear his real tale of abduction.
And there's a movie of this too.
Very cool.
Yes.
Where's Communion?
I want us to do book jacket with our own quotes, like wildly boring.
Wildly boring.
Amazingly terrible.
Excruciatingly average.
And apparently that movie Communion is really scary. Where's my copy of Communion?
That's with what's his name?
Know.
That's with
lately.
Christopher Walken is the Communion guy in Communion.
Okay. Yeah, Whitley Strieber is also somebody I didn't expect to come up. He first got started in horror, and I think he went to New York University Film School. Wolfen is a great book and movie. I read Communion when I was a little kid. Dang it, people are commenting so fast. I keep clicking on different stuff. Man, I haven't seen that Wolfen movie in decades. I haven't seen it in a long time either.
Yeah.
The Communion book is missing too much walking, dancing.
Yeah.
I read Communion when I was a little kid. It freaked me out. Wolfen, great book and movie. I blame the X-Files. That's a good point.
Yeah.
For the 90s alien thing. He wrote Wolfen too. Yep, that's true. Whitney Strieber is to blame for your nightmares. Cave talk on liminal spaces. Yeah.
I think it was in either Missouri or Kentucky. Did you see? Yes. This was completely off topic. I was going to say, I think it was like in, Missouri or one of those states where there was like a posting that went viral, like a Zillow posting. It was a normal looking house. And then in their backyard, they had like a thing that opened, and underneath was their very own private cave. And the cave came with the home when you bought it.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it could be.
So that's interesting.
Actually, the deepest stuff is in the country of Georgia.
Mammoth is the largest, but the stuff in New Mexico is the deepest. Carlsbad and Lechuguilla, which I think is in. I don't know. I don't want to guess about that. I don't know about that. Carlsbad is gorgeous, and it is so long. I mean, you have to walk into this cave for miles. It's insane, and then you can ride it.
I want to crawl.
Yeah, you can take some tours that make you do that.
Yeah.
Don't
remember
forget
we went
Art Bell.
We went to camp as a kid, and they took us in this random cave out in the woods, like for school. Like literally, we went camping for a week, and like, oh, there's a cave over here, and it wasn't like there was like it was like a space like this big. Like, okay, kids, come on in.
Was
And
this?
we all crawled in there, and they're like, don't go down that way because there's a big pit, and we don't know how deep it goes.
Yeah, there's one of those in
It was like
Carlsbad.
that. We were like, wow, that's freaky. There was actually bats in there.
Okay.
Caves are terrifying. I love it. I actually, that when you were asking about horror, I love caves. Anything with caves. I've sought out books about caves and read.
We need
I
cave horror
was,
then.
and you haven't read When Darkness Loves Us?
Is that about a cave? I'll read it.
Yes, it's
All right,
literally about
there's-
somebody stuck in a cave.
Oh,
Heavy
sold. Yeah,
cave
I'll read
action.
it tomorrow.
Good, read it tomorrow. We got to talk about it.
Now I am.
I didn't realize all I had to do was tell you it was a cave.
Just say the word cave and I'm there.
Okay, yes,
All right,
please
you do
read it.
cave.
It is literally about caves. Caves are the
Cave.
scary part.
All right, done.
So I went through Carlsbad Canyons on acid, and I was
Hell
19 years old, and it was absolutely incredible. It's a core memory.
I would imagine it would be.
Yeah, it was so wild. Because they like brought in this like hugely famous light designer that lit up all the caves. Everybody come to New Mexico. Let's go to Carlsbad. It's going to be a Liminal Spaces field trip. We're going to go literally into a liminal space.
Remember to bring your jacket. They don't tell you caves get very cold.
It's true. They're always but I usually just wear a t-shirt in there. It's not too cold.
Well, they get cold easy.
Yeah, I am
usually around 50 degrees.
I am glad, since you love caves, I'm glad you're going to read When Darkness Loves Us. You're going to, when you see this video for When Darkness Loves Us coming up soon, you're going to see Brian just going, that's insanely good.
I'm ready.
He's going to review it from a cave.
Jake, we're talking about caves now. Like, I don't even know.
That's right.
We're talking about
caves.
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 I don't know how we got here. I don't know what's going on. We talked about D&D for a really long time. I left, and then I came back, and somehow we got on to caves.
I left.
So yeah, I'm sure I missed some comments.
Did you guys ever read I think it was like I don't know if it was a creepypasta or something, but it was the Caver Ted story.
Oh, is that the guy that made a YouTube and then no, that guy really disappeared. There's a guy that really did disappear.
I know about that one too. Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't know that, but I bet if my daughter was here, she'd know the creepypasta.
I think it's a creepypasta, or maybe it was just a Reddit post, but it's a story called Caver Ted. And it was really good. I liked it. It was a series of internet posts. But
yeah, Lovecraft says scary one. Oh God, Caver Ted.
Yeah, there you go.
0. Yeah, that stuff's scary. Like when you're under the ground like that, it's yeah, just don't think about cave-ins because you'll start freaking yourself out.
Yeah. I love like The Descent. It's a great movie.
Somebody brought that up in the
it's
comments.
a totally different tone, but
yeah, somebody just said The Descent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's oh yeah, Tau Zero. I saw The Descent. I'm good. I'm not going in caves.
It's a fantastic horror movie, but the book is like it's almost not horror. It's like a bizarre fantasy almost, sort of.
Do you dare say the movie was better?
I prefer the movie. I don't know that everyone would.
Very rare that I can say this, but there are books, there are movies that are better than their books. And the one that I think of right off the top of my head is Fight Club. And Chuck Palahniuk himself has said the movie was better than the book, that David Fincher took his core ideas and really streamlined them and told a better story.
Since we were talking about gaming and caves and scary stuff, this is a book all about like D&D and caves, but like with realistic stuff, but like horror. It's really good.
I want it. Send it to Brian.
I think it's still in print. I'm trying to find. The art is very strange.
Ooh. Nice.
Lots of really good stuff in here about like I guess I think the idea was like to make creatures that live in caves that are like real, like that could really kind of exist or something. But but I don't know. That's not exactly right. But definitely a different take on it.
I read this book that I was so excited about. It's like it was about this woman who explores caves on other planets, and I was like, "This sounds fantastic." But the book was It was called like The Luminous Dead or something.
So, have you ever read The Tombs of Atuan by Ursula K. Le Guin?
No.
Cave book number 2.
It is a
cave books. Give me your cave book recommendation.
Yeah, no, it's about a woman that is born to be kind of this priestess, and she is the only person that's allowed in this cave system, and she spends most of her time in darkness, and it's incredible. It's my favorite of the first 3 Earth Seas.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a list. I love it too.
Yeah,
absolutely love it.
I love Le Guin. I've read The Left Hand Darkness, and it was fantastic.
Tombs of Atuan is the best Le Guin I've ever read, hands down. But I like cave stuff. I really do. I love that Jake showed up in the chat like our dad, like we're having a slumber party, and was like, "Are you kids in here? It's time for bed."
That's exactly what he just did. Yes.
the cave from arrows. Oh yeah. The Morbid Midnight YouTube channel has a few of those cave incidents.
Yeah, like the Nutty Putty Cave
incident. I went to the Shenandoah Valley. Pretty surreal. I've written some subterranean fiction. There's something about going down below into the unconscious. Well, and let me put on my professor hat for like 3 seconds here, just really quick.
The Shenandoah area's got some good caves. Sorry.
So many of our myths are associated with heroes and people going into the underworld, and the idea of descending. And I think it's a story that has been told around fires at the beginning of time all the way through till now, that it really does bring something. I mean, it's liminality. It brings up this awe of the space between. It's absolutely incredible. Okay, I'm taking it back off. Agree with Fight Club. Yeah, Tau Zero. Veins of the Earth is way out of print, and a $200 to $400 book.
Yeah, don't send that to me.
I don't have an extra copy. I would otherwise.
It took me 20 years to finally realize Mario is really about a guy who's exploring one giant labyrinth of sewers. Yep.
I really liked Subterranean by James Rollins. James Rollins is like a very mainstream kind of writer, but he's definitely my guilty pleasure. And that one's all about being in this cave, and it's great.
Did you make a video on your channel talking about a cave book? No, climbing book you did recently, correct?
Yeah, I did read a 1960s climbing sort of like action book. Yeah.
Yes, you love climbing books as well.
The Ascent of D13.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've showed off a book recently. I haven't read it yet, but it's a sci-fi. I'll pull it out. Why not?
Yeah. Woo. Never feel bad leaving a literally liminal stream, because we don't know.
We have no idea.
We just go on. If you're bored, come back in a couple hours. We'll be on to another topic.
For sure.
Thank you for coming, Tim. You're awesome. We're going to have Tim on eventually.
We are.
I believe Ira doesn't know this, but I believe Ira is going to be our next guest.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, I found this recently. It's called Class 6 Climb, and it's like a sci-fi book about climbing some giant tree on another planet.
Wait, is that an analog magazine?
Awesome. It's an analog book.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, it does say analog book right there, doesn't it?
Yeah. But it's about like climbing this giant tree on another planet, and I was like, I have to have this.
That looks good. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've got a bunch of the old, like super early Lamentation stuff. I've got like pamphlets that are like 16 pages that are pretty rare. They weren't rare at the time. They were just selling them cheap. But.
Yeah. I agree, Joe. I think that there is I think that Elizabeth Engstrom was familiar with the concept of myths and the underworld and all that. Keep it down in here. I got to work in the morning. But Dad,
you're supposed to go. Shh, Nick is sleeping.
Nick is sleeping.
Oh, he went to bed long ago.
I know.
It's got to be late for Brian. Brian, you're always allowed to just be like, I'm done.
I'm approaching the end. I'm
okay.
10:15. I do need to.
Yep.
Out soon.
Yeah, Joseph Campbell, absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Aladdin, Finding Secret Treasure, Meeting the Goddess, Fight Club, the movie is off the hook. Marla is a hallucination as well. Interesting. You got to make a video about that. What's the title of that climbing book?
Classics Climb by William E. Cochran.
I heard the name, I think.
I just love those little guys climbing up this giant tree. So
I'm a sucker for like little people and like people being small and like big stuff. Like everything is big around them. I don't know. I think it's super neat.
I'm a sucker for climbing stuff. So you give me climbing and science fiction, and I'm like, ugh.
So wait, climbing in caves, huh?
Yeah, see, I talked about this in the book haul, but I had this idea for years since I was like younger that I wanted to write like a climbing book, but I wanted it to be on another planet. And so months ago, I was in a store and I saw this, and I was like, "Motherfuckers, stole my idea." They wrote it before I was even born.
Buy and destroy every copy.
Oh my god! Very cool. All right, Brian, what's coming up on your channel?
Oh, who knows, man. I read books. I talk about them when I have time, and that's what it is.
There you go.
If that sounds fun, come on over and hang out with me. Otherwise,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
I do actually. I guess I can say it here. I talked about it on my channel. The Bumps in the Night. It's like a Goosebumps throwback series that's being written now. I'm having the author on to just hang out and chat.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so I'll be interviewing him. Other than that, nothing necessarily planned, just my usual.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Virgil, what you got?
I don't know. I thought we were going to do a review for Doom Pilgrim, and I am still trying to chip away at Pandora Star. This reread is taking me a long time.
It's a big book.
Yeah, it is a big book. I forgot how big it was.
It's no stand on Zanzibar.
Well, I don't know about that.
How many pages is it?
Hardback is 900.
Oh Jesus!
I was gonna say it might be like
100 more than Stand on Zanzibar. I didn't realize how big that thing was. All right.
Yeah, this is the hardback.
Oh Jesus! Okay.
Yeah. And this is not like a book club edition either. Yeah, it's like 900 pages. I think it is big. They're almost 40 hours on audio.
Wow.
And that's part one.
Wow. Yeah, I got so you got that coming up. I just read Swan Song and it was 30 something hours.
Yeah, that's a big one too.
But yeah, coming up on the channel, I think this week, is going to be Swan Song. I just finished that one and that was incredible. But most importantly, tomorrow is, of course, we're going to drop the first episode of Secret Society Red, and we're going to be discussing Andrew Niederman's Pin.
Which somebody's here late. Oh, yep, there you go. Even better. If you didn't see it before.
There's your thumbnail.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
I think I did it. I did a trial. I did your thumbnail, and I tried different text too. So who knows? I decided to try the trial thing.
Yeah.
So it's gonna look like that. That image though.
So what time zone are you in, Virgil?
I'm in Central Time.
So it'll be noon tomorrow Central Time, which is
1 p.m. real time.
1 p.m. Brian's time,
Eastern
and
time.
11 o'clock Mountain Time.
Mountains.
I'm very Joe, I'm very proud of this thumbnail. I really am. I'm really proud of it. It turned out
it's something to be proud of. Honestly.
It took a week of planning, and it turned out beautifully. And I'm going to frame it, and I'm going to have it up here for Secret Society Red videos. I got to. It's just
your daughter's gonna be like, "What is this doing framed in our house?"
Just put it in the dining room when it's not otherwise.
That's right. Oh my goodness. So yes, exactly. A happy family.
That's right.
What can happen bad when you have Pin there to protect you? So catch that. And yeah, I think that's about it for us. Go subscribe to Brian's channel. Go subscribe to Virgil's channel.
Go subscribe to Chris's channel.
That's right. Get away.
They're probably already here.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thanks for being on. It's been a lot of fun. And apparently next time is Ira. If Ira agrees, we'll see. And if not, I'll let you know who it is. But yeah, thank you very much, Brian. Looks like let's see what Constance is saying here. Oops. Dang it. Looks like you each think you are in a different type of story. we definitely all had to pose. I just told them, I just said, take a full body picture.
There was no instruction given. He said, make it like a family photo.
Yeah, make it like a family photo. And Brian did one where which I'll probably use in another thumbnail some other time, where he was laying on the ground, like straight up with his yes, dude.
I didn't know if you wanted to put me between Pin's legs there, just
right.
Oh.
I'd watch that.
Oh my God. That would have been great.
Oh, all right. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. I'm going to end the stream now. We will see you next time.
See you later.
Oh, wrong hand waving. There we go.
2.
Oh, I got to push 2 buttons to end the stream.